Also, Carol, I meant to ask like 3 weeks ago, but did you listen to the Silk Sonic album?
Yeah, I did.
What did you think?
It was really good.
Isn't it groovy?
I mean, like, no offense, but like, of course it was going to be. I don't know why I said no offense. It's a compliment to them.
No, I take full offense.
What is the feature-length podcast? Anyone?
The feature-length podcast is a show where 3 idiots talk about film and entertainment.
Good answer.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey, are you talking to us?
Yeah. I'm talking to the voices in my head.
Like, I truly don't know. It felt like a fever dream. I swear to God, I could not.
It sounds so stupid hearing that.
If you're listening to this is a podcast.
Welcome back to the feature-length podcast.
Welcome back to the feature-length podcast.
Welcome back to the feature-length podcast, a podcast where we talk about movies and TV for a feature length of time. Somebody once told me about an angry ogre who lived in a swamp and reluctantly became friends with a talking donkey and eventually fell in love with a princess from a land called Far, Far Away. That's right, people. Today we're talking about the first 4 Shrek films. All 4 films star Mike Myers as Shrek, Eddie Murphy as Donkey, and Cameron Diaz as Fiona. The rest of the films have a rotating cast of villains and friends and family, most notably John Lithgow as Lord Farquaad, Antonio Banderas as Puss in Boots, Julie Andrews as the Queen, John Cleese as the King, Justin Timberlake as Archie, and many, many other honestly mind-blowing cameos. These films came out in 2001 to 2010, with the first 2 garnering critical acclaim. The first one won an Oscar for Best Animated Feature, and the last 2 were just fine. But today we're talking about all of them on the feature-length podcast. So now I'll introduce the other 2 people talking about it with me. I'm Carolina, and I'm talking with Dan.
Hello.
And Marco.
Yo!
What up, guys? I feel like I definitely blew my mic on my somebody once told me.
That's good.
The listeners are really going to enjoy that.
That's how you know you did it right.
It's otherwise, the only way to do it.
Yeah, actually, if you listen closely to the actual song, it clips at that part.
Oh, absolutely. We have so much to talk about, but before we do, since we're talking about somebody once told me, like, even in the movie, it's still it's a really loud audio cut.
I literally had to turn my volume down.
I know, like the meme of it obviously is the ridiculous, but even hearing it in the movie, I was like, huh, that's funny. That is actually really funny.
That's just how this track is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was made especially for the film, which is iconic.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until I was doing research. I was like, wait, Accidentally in Love was written for Shrek? Or like Shrek 2 or whichever freaking one it was. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I mean, I think, or did I mess it up?
That's not.
Yeah, no, it was made for Shrek. It was nominated for an Oscar for Best Original Song.
Nice.
Seriously?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Nice. Also, so Shrek 2 didn't win an Oscar for Best Animated Movie, but the first one did?
Didn't win.
Wow.
Yeah, the first one did.
Surprising.
Do you know what won that year? 2004?
I don't do that intensive
maybe The
research,
Incredibles?
guys.
Was that year?
Oh, 100% must have been The Incredibles.
I think that was 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, it wasn't Shrek 2.
Okay.
I can tell you that much.
Even though it's so good.
It's better than the first one, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about the Shrek Cinematic Universe, the SCU.
Yeah. So, I mean, first of all, why did we decide to talk about these?
I don't know. Carol?
I asked if we could do it because I was like, those movies are funny. I want to rewatch them.
Because it's a really random choice. That's the only reason why I brought it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all have a history with these. I'm sure we all watched them growing up.
Oh yeah.
Yes, yeah. And also I just have like many an inside joke with my friends about Shrek. So like it comes up in conversation pretty often. And actually, funnily enough, I got my roommate like a Shrek finger puppet once upon a time after we like didn't talk to each other for almost a year. Like nothing happened. We just kind of forgot about each other. It was university. I don't know. And then I came to her house with a Shrek finger puppet, and we've been inseparable ever since. So just
Nice.
Shrek is really important in my life as like a character. So I was like, why not watch the movies and talk about them?
It's an integral part of that relationship.
Yeah, it's kind of sad how many relationships he is important in to me. So it had to happen eventually.
Yeah.
And
No, I mean,
before Christmas is obviously
Yeah,
the
right
best
before we
time.
go into our selection series, too. This is like the one that caps off
yeah.
the regular season.
I think it's a good choice. I mean, absolutely, we did have to talk about it at some point.
They're iconic.
Should we go into then, like, when we all first ever watched these movies?
Sure.
Okay.
If we remember, sure, yeah. We'll go in a circle. Maybe, Dan, you go first.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure I watched I definitely watched 2, 3, and 4 in theaters. I'm pretty sure when I was 4 I watched the first one in theaters too, but I barely remember.
Oh my gosh.
Only because when it came out on VHS, like, I already wanted it. Like, that wasn't the first time I was seeing it, so that leads me to believe that I saw it in theaters at some point. And as a kid, like, I absolutely loved all of these movies, even the shitty ones, which we'll get into, aka the latter half of the series. Before rewatching for this, I hadn't seen them in years, any of them. And I still think the first two are, like, fun animated movies. I don't love them like I did as a kid necessarily, but I don't not like them.
Yeah.
I do kind of, this is just my opinion, I still kind of think DreamWorks is like the discount Pixar for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so these movies don't really compete with like some of my favorite Pixar movies, just making that animated movie comparison. But that being said, like, the first two are still perfectly enjoyable and fun and often kind of smart, like well written, or not even like they're kids movies, but like I enjoyed them even today.
For sure.
The first two.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my experience.
Okay, so I've told the story before that my first like memory / movie going experience was Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire, classic. But according to my family, apparently they took me to see Shrek, and that was the first time I ever saw a movie in the theater. Now I don't remember that, but I do remember as a kid. Do you guys remember how kindergarten used to be like half days? It was like every day but half day.
Yeah.
They changed it now because they're dumb. But that's what it used to be.
Is it like every other day but full days now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think maybe every other Friday. I don't know.
See, like, I don't know. I might have preferred that, honestly.
I don't know. Oh, well, I'll tell you why I like the half days. Because I legitimately watched Shrek every day before school. Like, all I did was I would wake up and eat breakfast and put on my Shrek VHS, the first one, and watch it, okay? That's the first time I watched that. Shrek 2, I definitely saw in theaters multiple times with different family members. Yes, absolutely. I saw it multiple times. I saw it once with my family. My nonna took me to see it once. I saw it multiple times. Shrek 3 and 4, I don't think I saw in theaters. Well, okay, let me just get this out of the way. Shrek 3, I've seen like a few times, probably at home. I don't remember how. Maybe someone got it on DVD, whatever. Shrek 4, I came to the realization I'd only ever seen in full this time that we watched it. But I kind of knew elements of it, and I was like, how do I know elements of it? And it's because when that movie came out, this was like back in the day where you would walk into a Walmart and right at the front would be a bunch of TVs like playing movies. And so I have seen scenes from this movie, and I knew the gist of it. But I don't think I ever watched it really until today. Or yesterday, I guess, is when I watched it.
I'm just picturing you at the store staring at the TV, trying to watch as much as you could.
Contemplating Shrek. Yeah, so that's my watching history. Like Dan, definitely have seen the first two more than anything. I think Shrek 2, I've seen maybe, as much as I watched Shrek 1, like I think I've seen Shrek 2 more. Because that's the one that, as an adult, if I want to watch a Shrek piece of content, I watch Shrek 2.
For sure.
Because, as I said in the group chat, I think it's a cinematic masterpiece.
Yeah, that was a great text to receive.
But in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man way. Like, not in
well,
like
I think that movie's a better movie than the Spider-Man movies.
Sure, but I mean in that style. In a
fun way.
Yeah, where it's
memeable way.
It's like there are elements of it where I'm like, oh, that's genuinely good. And then there's also just the memeable elements, and there's also just fun elements.
Yeah.
So like that's why I still feel that way about Shrek 2, and that's still my number one, I think. Shrek 1, very close second, but
it's a solid first movie.
It does feel a little quaint. Like, going back on this rewatch, I'm kind of like,
Shrek 2 or Shrek 1?
Shrek 1, sorry, Shrek 1.
Okay.
It's a little quaint, knowing kind of how the universe expands. Where I'm kind of like, oh yeah, Shrek and Donkey and whatever, Fiona. And then, yeah. You know what, even the side characters.
Yeah, like there's no Puss in Boots yet, or there's no, like, all the fairy tale.
Gingy's only in like 2 scenes. He's like my favorite character,
Yeah.
but he's only in 2 scenes of Shrek 1. Anyway, and Shrek 3 and 4 are disasters. So Carol, what are your thoughts? And then we'll talk in specifics.
Yes, yeah. I think I also saw them all in theaters, although I don't have any particularly strong memories about watching any of them. But same as you guys, I also had it on VHS. And when I had it on VHS, I don't think it was my first time watching it. So, yeah, I assume I've seen them all. And then, yeah, I don't think I'd watched them all again other than, I don't know, if, like, we're at a party. I mean, why would you put on Shrek at a party? It happens. I don't know. But unless it was just on
I've
at someone's
been
house.
to a party where Shrek was on in the background.
Yeah, why would you not?
See? Yeah, or, like, on TV or whatever. I definitely watch parts of it. But I don't think I'd ever sat down and been like, today I am watching Shrek, until first year of university. A couple of my friends from Windsor came to visit me, Lena and Kelsey, shout outs. And they were there for family day, and so we baked cookies and watched Shrek 1 and 2 in my bed in my dorm room.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I watched those then, and then I hadn't seen them since. So it's been, quite a few years again.
6 years,
Yeah. And then, 3 and 4, I think I've only seen once, because when I watched them, I, like, remembered, I guess, like, the characters and the general beats, but I was like, what are these? Like, 1 and 2, I could probably recount, like, plot by plot, like, minute by minute, but 3 and 4, I was like, I don't remember any of this. I remember, like, Rumpelstiltskin, I guess, and, like, I remember Justin Timberlake being in it, because I was obsessed with him, and that's literally it. And the babies. I remember them having babies.
Of course.
But, so that was a whirlwind. But I do love the first movies, like you guys. I think we're on a similar boat. 3 and 4 suck. I mean, I think the whole world agrees, to be honest.
Yeah. I will say, though,
I guess, what were you going to say?
Sorry. No, go ahead.
I was just going to structure us and say we should probably just talk about them in order now.
I was just going to say, I was, like, as a kid, I watched the third one a bunch of times.
Me
like,
too.
It was
really?
one of my favorites. Yeah, when I was younger.
You know what I think it is? I was thinking a lot about this.
Of course you were.
Well, yeah, of course.
You're the thinker of the group, I think.
I'm always thinking about these things. I'm always trying to compare them to other things. But here's what I think it is that Shrek 3, ultimately, is just kind of like a dumbed down kids version of sort of what the first 2 movies are in a way. Like, not that those ones aren't kid movies, but I feel like Shrek 3 really doubles down on having, like, expanding the universe, expanding the lore, and a lot of the, like, fantasy elements, and really, like, doubling down on a lot of that. Like, as someone that was super into, like, medieval times and whatever, the idea of, like, oh, Merlin and Arthur, like, that was cool to me.
Like, Shrek 3 isn't even about Shrek.
No, it's not.
It's about Arthur.
Absolutely. And then there's...
I realized that this time.
It's his arc.
Yes.
It's... Well, I guess it's only...
Interesting that he's never seen again, but...
Yes.
Yeah.
And also,
yeah,
like...
that's true. He's busy ruling Far, Far Away.
Evidently, yeah. That's what he's doing.
I remember thinking about that when I was watching the fourth one for the first time. I was like, is he just there? Also, I love that Far, Far Away is like LA in this world.
It's a nice touch.
Yeah, but yeah, like the only thing in Shrek 3 about Shrek is that he, like, of the baby stuff. Yeah. Which is like the B plot.
It is the B plot.
He's the B plot in his own movie with Shrek in the title.
It's hilarious. But yeah, I think that's why Shrek 3 is maybe more watchable as a kid. It's just that, like, it heightens certain things. And even going back on this time, I was kind of like, it's almost a frustrating watch. And if I had to compare it to something, and, like, not in quality, but stick with me, okay? It's, of the first 3 movies, right? It's the Dark Knight Rises of the trilogy.
How about Return of the Jedi?
Sure, it's Return of the Jedi, because there is stuff in that movie that I still like. Yeah. But it's just so few and far between with, like, other random crap. Yeah. That I'm kind of like, fuck. For sure. Fuck. Let's get to, like, donkey singing Cats in the Cradle. Like, that's funny. Let's get... What about the donkey's head being a Shrek baby saying Dada? Like, that's fucking hilarious.
I also like how the third one is directly after the second one.
Me too.
Like, it's a direct follow. They haven't even left far away yet from the end of the second one.
Oh my god.
I like that.
You know what? I'm going to save some stuff from the third one for when we talk about it, because I thought about some more funny stuff. Yeah, but that's what I think the third one... And then the fourth one, guys, I think I felt like I was having a fever dream last night. Like, I was like, this can't... I was like, am I sleep deprived and delusional, or is this movie like a drama? Like, it's not even like a Shrek movie. It's like this...
It's like the It's a Wonderful Life of Shrek movies.
But like... Yeah, and it's not.
But not in quality. Like.
No. And Dan, you pointed this out because I was watching it and I was like, there's something about this that just feels wrong. Like, instinctually, while I'm watching it, I'm like, I'm cringing. I don't know what's wrong with this. And then this morning I saw you had texted, you were like, what the fuck is with the lighting in this movie? Why is it all, like, graded so much darker? And I was like...
It's the dark timeline.
Yeah! And I was like, oh my god, Dan's right. I was like, that's totally the problem with it.
It's weird. Yeah, like... It's a Shrek movie. Like, why is this like a Christopher Nolanized Shrek movie that I'm watching right now?
If Nolan did Shrek, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about chronological. Let's talk about the stuff we like, because there's so much stuff that we actually like.
Okay. Well, before we do that, this is about the first movie. It's something that we like. I noticed. So Ice Age came out 1 year after the first Shrek movie.
Okay.
And last night I realized Ice Age, at least the beginning of Ice Age, is literally just the beginning of Shrek, where a loser character runs into a big brute character for protection, and they end up going on a journey to like help somebody.
Nice.
It's literally the Sid
It's the
Manny
same premise,
thing,
yeah.
but with Donkey and Shrek. These like beat for beat almost.
That was 100% on purpose.
But yeah, I must have been.
Because Shrek was like a success.
Yes.
And they were like, we're gonna do it again.
1 year after it had to have been. So I just
Is
wanted
Ice
to point
Age
that
also
out.
DreamWorks?
No, they're Blue Sky, I think, which I don't think is in business anymore.
I don't think so, because they only made Ice Age movies.
Yes,
They made like
series they ever made.
they made like 5 Ice Age movies, and then we're like,
and then there were like stupid Scrat spin-offs.
Yes.
And that's what got them like bankrupt or something.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Only the first Ice Age is worth anything, by the way.
I mean, I would agree with that. I don't remember a lot of the others, but I do remember enjoying the first one as a kid. Anyway,
I like that one a lot. Anyway, stuff we like.
Shrek. Speaking of stuff we like, Shrek.
The animation is great.
Yes.
It was so good. I was so impressed by how detailed it was for a movie that came out in, I know I said in my intro, 2001? Yeah, 2001. I knew that. Like, just to see like every blade of grass moving, or even just like sunspots, it was amazing.
Yeah,
that's my biggest like.
Compare it to, I know Toy Story 2 had been out by this point, but comparing it to, like, this is DreamWorks, one of their first flagpole movies, right?
Yeah.
After like Ants or something, which is just
Yes.
Oh god,
really a tester movie, not even
Ants.
counting Ants.
Yeah.
But like, so comparing Shrek to like the first Toy Story movie, which was only a few years before. And in that movie, like, I love Toy Story, but the animation has really, you can tell, like, it's they're automated models.
Yeah.
And, like, it looks like video game cutscenes a lot of the time.
100%. Yeah.
Shrek looks almost completely natural. Like, there's very little times where you can see, like, oh, that was totally automated, and it's, like, very unnatural movement. Like, most of the time, it looks great.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I think it's beautiful, and I also think, like, they do a good job of doing interesting designs on things that, like, you've probably seen before, whether it's like Lord Farquaad's like castle, or the Dragon's Keep, and then even a lot of the character designs, like, outside of just like the quality of the rendering, let's say, but just the character designs themselves, I just think are like interesting and fun and unique, and like visually, like, you see it and you immediately know, like, oh, this is from Shrek. Like, it has a very, like, specific visual language, which is cool. It's very nice to see for an early CG animated movie, like you said. Like,
yeah, it's original.
Yeah, it's great.
And
Well,
even
it's cool that it happened because it was almost motion capture.
No way. Are you serious?
Oh, like Polar Express style, creepy.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Yes.
would
That would have been bad. That would have been bad.
Have you guys recently watched the Polar Express?
I try to avoid that
Yes.
movie at all costs.
I
Isn't
watch it every
creepy?
year. It's so creepy. I like visually I hate it, so I usually like have it on in the background, mostly just to listen to it, because I can't look at it for too long.
Yeah, because the story's fine.
Yeah,
it's just,
the story's great. I think
creepy to look at.
No, I hate even the story. I don't. Here's my thing, and I said this.
You hate?
It wasn't your dream to get on a train and go to the North Pole.
Here's what I don't like about Polar Express, and then we'll get back to Shrek. But I need to make this clear. Okay.
Wait, what company animated Polar Express? Do we know?
I don't know off the top of my head.
I can Google it.
Go ahead.
It definitely wasn't Pixar or
wasn't one of the big three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the third big three?
Illumination.
Oh, Illumination.
I guess now. I don't think they even existed back then. Here's the thing about Polar Express that's frustrating to me is that there's this whole like fun romp on the train, right? And then
romp.
And like, but there's something about the pacing where as soon as they get to the North Pole, I like my stomach just sinks every time I watch the movie, and I'm like, fuck. There's a whole ass other extended sequence in the North Pole. I just feel like there's something about like
that's my favorite part though.
I don't, but to me it's almost like this is gonna sound ridiculous, but like I wish it was like a part 1 and a part 2 or something. Like I like it's, I don't know, it just doesn't work for me as like a combined thing.
Who would
like,
watch just the part of them on a train?
Yes, 100%. No, I just honestly
Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah, it just kind of like loses my interest a little bit by the time we get to the North Pole.
Okay.
As much as like I like what happens in that part of the movie, and honestly, now that I'm saying this, maybe it is just more that by the time you get to that part, like the disgusting visuals are just like so painful to me that I'm like, I want to turn it off. Yeah. Like maybe that's what it is. I don't know, but
well, the thing is for me, not to talk too much more about Polar Express.
And we can cut this all out if we want.
Yeah, but just real quick. So like,
I don't know. It's Christmas time.
Yeah,
that's true. It's not the visual style per se that bothers me. It's just the human character models. Like I actually like the design of the North Pole in that movie, and like how it's kind of maze-like, like a little village you can get lost in. But yeah, the like looking into the eyes of those characters.
Well, yeah, it's Uncanny Valley the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like it's literally that, and exactly. I like a lot of the design elements of, and the voice cast is good, and
well, I mean the voice cast is Tom Hanks. He plays everybody.
Absolutely, and then what's his name plays Santa though?
Tom Hanks.
Is it Tom Hanks that plays Santa too?
Santa too, yeah.
Okay, well, never mind.
Who did you think it was?
I don't know. I thought it was someone else with like a nice voice, and I was trying to remember, but I guess it is Tom Hanks.
Anyway, it was produced by Castle Rock Entertainment, and the visual effects and performance capture was done by Sony Pictures Imageworks.
Oh, okay.
Fucking
Sony.
Of course.
Sony.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to Shrek.
Right,
what else did we like about it?
Okay, so as you guys know, I am a music connoisseur when it comes to film.
Yep.
And I think the original score, like the Shrek themes, are like those pieces of music are really good.
Me too.
I think they're distinctive. I like how they come back in the movies, and how they're like a through line. That being said, obviously, the soundtracks
even better
of the needle drop music's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like
even in like the later movies, I think it's pretty decent.
It is, but this is something that I thought that bugged me about the third and fourth one a little bit. Was just like, so you get to the fourth one and there's some parts of that movie where they're playing like indie music almost, and I was like, what? Like,
okay, is this another song that you're calling indie music that's gonna be like pop?
Yes, not actual indie, but just not like when I think of the Shrek soundtracks, I think of like corny but
early 2000s.
Early 2000s, like
ladies.
Fun, like just like fun, where it's like the Shrek 2 soundtrack, for example. Like I don't know, Holding Out for a Hero, like that cover is obviously fantastic. Yeah. That's incredible. But other than that
sequence is so good.
Oh, we'll get there. But other than that, and maybe the Counting Crows song at the start, like I feel like most of the other songs in the movie are like some level of cheesy. I think most of the songs in Shrek 1 are some level of cheesy. But I don't mean cheesy as an insult. I just mean they're just like fun and they fit the vibes of the movie.
Yeah.
But Shrek 4, I feel like, and even Shrek 3 tries to be like cool and hit maybe, moody? Or like good, yeah, or I guess moody. I don't know.
Fit with the movie, but I think like just as songs they're pretty
sure.
Decent. But except for one, which I have to mention now, in Shrek 4, it's literally a plot point that they start singing a James Taylor song, and I hate that. Like
when did that happen?
You've Got a Friend song.
Oh,
That's literally
yeah.
like Donkey's been singing songs throughout the whole series that are like anachronistic. That's fine. It's a joke. But in Shrek 4, it's part of the plot, and I hate that.
Yeah,
because it makes no sense.
Yeah, that is pretty dumb. My least favorite needle drop is the immigrant song in Shrek 3.
Oh yeah.
Not because it's bad, but just because it's like come on, guys.
I loved that as a kid. I thought it was so badass. Snow
Maybe it's
White
just
like
because-
sending the birds.
I know.
Maybe it's just because since then Thor Ragnarok has come out and that one used the song so much better.
And every other movie in existence.
Yeah,
And
but
School
like-
of Rock,
Yeah.
Thor Ragnarok.
But like in Thor Ragnarok, it's called Immigrant. Like it's about Norse mythology.
I know.
So it's like so perfect.
It's very fitting, and also just like the use of it, I think is in this one. You know what really? Okay, you know what? Not to get too nerdy about this, but I think what really bugs me about the use of it in this is how they don't use it. Like they use it, like she does the yell and the birds go, and then it immediately transitions into Fergie's cover of Barracuda.
Yeah.
And I'm like, either play the immigrant song
Yeah,
or
it's
don't.
not even the originals.
I was like,
why did they use the Fergie cover?
I don't know because like, I don't know.
Probably cheaper.
Maybe that could have been
but
actually.
for me,
Maybe Fergie was just really hip at the time. I don't remember
Honestly,
what she was doing.
Actually, she might have.
Shrek 3, that was like peak Fergie, I feel like.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why. But like that, I think for me it's more about like just the mixing of that of like, oh, the
Yeah.
immigrant song. Oh,
And then it goes
it's
to
not.
Barracuda,
It's
yeah.
not the immigrant song. Okay. So yeah,
I do like though in that sequence how like when she's singing the Snow White song, it's actually clearly taken from the original movie because it's very low quality audio, and like that was obviously like a purposeful thing that they did.
100%. I'll also just since we're talking about Snow White, I think something else from Shrek 3 that really works for me, not really, but that I just think is like fun, is actually incorporating a lot of the other like fairy tale princesses and like have their friendship with Fiona. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and I like how it's set up in the second one that they're all like celebrities who like every princess who's anyone lives in far, far away.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
LA.
It's fun.
And then they come back in the third one.
Yeah, and I like the progression of it, because in Shrek 1 you just get like the mirror mirror on the wall thing of like who are, like the dating game, you know what I
There's,
mean, like
references to
Which is also hilarious.
it's so good. It's so good. It's really funny. my favorite part of that after is like, okay, who are you gonna pick? And they're all shouting, and the one guy's like, 3, pick number 3, my lord, but he's holding up a 2.
Yeah.
And then after he picks 3, and I was watching this in particular, the guy looks down and just goes,
I saw that too.
and like realizes he wasn't doing 3. It's so good.
I think
Oh
he
my
was supposed
God.
to be like a reference for adults for like inbreeding.
Oh, yeah.
At the time, like medieval times, there was like so much like inbreeding.
Yeah,
and
it
that
was
just
a
like a
disgusting
nod
time.
to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, medieval times was a very vile era,
Yeah.
so that was funny.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, the music, you know, Shrek. It's great.
Yeah.
We'll as I guess as we go, we can maybe point out like specific needle drops. I guess since we're talking about Shrek 1, I really enjoy the Freaks and Geeks theme song when Shrek is fighting in the arena.
What was the
I've never
Freaks
seen
and
Freaks
Geeks
and
theme
Geeks,
song?
Neither of you guys have watched Freaks and Geeks?
I know I have. I just don't remember the theme song because it's been a while.
Reputation.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
got it. I
Yeah,
was
it's
gonna
a
Google it.
Freaks and Geeks theme song. Anyway, I like that needle drop. That was one that always stuck out to me as a kid. It's just kind of fun for an action scene. Obviously, you know, somebody once told me, so good. I do. You know, something that really made me like physically angry last night was that Shrek 4 ends with "I'm a believer,"
But it's not the Smash Mouth version.
and also like they only did it to try to like in their minds tie this together as like the end to the franchise. And,
Yeah,
like,
well, because they wanted to have
100%.
5 movies, like that was the plan, but you know, then they just kept
Apparently,
getting
they're
worse.
Still doing another one.
I've heard, yeah, that there's like another one.
You know, we'll see.
I'm not excited.
I hope they
for
don't.
it.
I think we're okay.
But maybe it'll be good. Maybe just maybe.
I don't know. They should have stopped after Shrek 2. Like that was.
Yeah.
It could have been just a great like 1-2 punch.
Oh yeah.
Like so strong. But also in Shrek 4, like another, because you mentioned trying to tie the whole franchise together like haphazardly. It's clearly like, it's weird to say fan service, but that whole movie, not whole movie, but most of the movie is just fan service to like the first movie especially.
Yeah.
They return to the castle where the dragon was. They return to like
Yeah.
like Shrek Swamp is like not his swamp
but
anymore.
like it's.
So that was annoying.
Yeah, it's very odd.
Well, but like given the plot of it, they kind of had to.
I guess we're saying the plot is odd.
Yeah, like I'm just.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah.
Like I just don't know. Like,
everyone wants a sliding doors moment in a franchise, right? Or a whole movie.
What's a sliding doors moment?
You know, like one thing happens and your whole life will be different. I mean, in his case, he wasn't born, so he didn't have a life.
Like a butterfly.
But yeah.
It's so weird for a Shrek movie, though. Like the sci-fi element.
That was the thing. Was it's just too serious? Like the stakes are too high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all the stakes in the other one is like, are Shrek and Fiona gonna be together? Is true love gonna prevail? Which is like, you know, like it's kiddie stakes. But this is like, are you gonna be unmade as a person? And I was like, what the fuck?
Your children currently do not exist.
And then he's walking around with his daughter's toy, and he's like, they're gonna be permanently dead forever. And I was like, what the shit is this movie?
Yeah.
But I guess you know there's no way that will happen, so that kind of helps.
But kids don't.
Like it is Shrek.
Kids are not really smart enough to figure that out. Like if I saw Shrek the fourth one at the age that I saw the first movie,
it'd be a scarring
experience. That would be messed up. Yeah. How old was I when so that was 2010, right? The last one came out? So 11 years ago. So I was 13 then. Yeah.
Maybe I didn't see it in theaters, now I'm thinking about it. I don't know if I would have went to see Shrek 4 at the age of 13.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I remember even then I was disappointed. As a 13-year-old, I was like, that was easily the worst one.
Yeah. I mean, you can tell. Let's get back to Shrek number 1. The one that
we're going to talk about it, quote unquote, in order.
Yeah, we always do.
I mean, like, who hasn't seen Shrek? Like, it's fine if we jump out of order.
Yeah, it's exactly.
We don't have to explain to anyone what the concept of Shrek is.
Okay, so speaking of the concept,
we might need to explain the plots of the later films, just
maybe
in
the
case
later ones,
people,
but like everyone's seen the first two.
Yeah, I hope so. If not, watch it and then return to the episode.
But you only have until the end of the month for Netflix. Canadian Netflix anyway.
Yes.
Coming
for
off.
Shrek?
Yeah. All of the Shrek movies.
Oh, good timing, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did this at the right time.
Okay, wait, sorry. This is totally unrelated. But speaking of bad timing, all of the Spider-Mans are on Netflix now. But when we did our episode, they were not, and I paid for them on YouTube.
Why did you pay for them? I could have just ripped you the DVDs and sent you the
I don't
YouTube.
know. I do that sometimes.
I have like 20 I could have just sent you some copies to keep. Like,
so you paid for all 3 of them?
No, they had one the whole time. I think just 2 and 3.
Oh, okay.
The best ones, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, you paid for 3. That's unfortunate.
I mean, it's like $2 or $3 or something, so it's not that bad.
Yeah. I mean, it's
I didn't pay for HD or anything, so.
Yeah. At least you didn't pay for the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, that would have been worse.
That would have been, or Venom, you know.
Or Venom. We paid for Venom.
You paid twice for Venom. I don't know why, but you did. Something I love about the first Shrek is like you mentioned, the concept of it. I think is really cool. Of like doing a fairy tale but not doing a fairy tale.
It's like a spoof movie.
Like it's like a spoof, but not like a bad spoof movie. Like it's like a good one that like understands the genre and like spoofs the genre, but then still
appreciates it.
In spoofing it, follows tropes of it, which I think is really cool. And I think also, not that these movies are obviously like important in any way. I mean, culturally somehow they are very important. Like
I was gonna say.
But like the fact that like the message of the first movie is like just be your true self or whatever is actually kind of like, oh, that's like a nice message, kinda, you know.
It is. It was very heartfelt.
Yeah, I was like, I remember these movies just because they're so ridiculous, but like, you know, that's not a bad message to have. And actually, I guess the second movie has the exact same message, just presented in a different way.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I think that's Shrek's whole thing. Yeah,
is just basically the same. Well, actually, no, because then, as we said, the third movie isn't about Shrek.
No, it's about fatherhood and like ruling a kingdom.
But even though, I guess with Artie, it's the same thing of like just be yourself, be king, whatever. But then the third movie is be yourself in the most literal sense, in that he's not going to exist and he wants to be himself. So I guess the first two movies are kind of identical message.
Yeah.
But like you said, they're presented in a different enough way that it's not just a rehash.
Yeah, well, and I appreciate that Shrek 2 is kind of a perfect sequel because it does the thing that a lot of sequels do, which is have a similar message, hit the message, but it like flips the script and it kind of takes everything we like and then ups the ante. Like, what did you like about Shrek? Oh, fun soundtrack? Guess what? Shrek 2 soundtrack? Fucking banger after banger. There is not one needle drop in that movie that isn't a hype moment that I remember.
Funky Town will forever live in my head with the sequence of them entering Far, Far Away.
Me too!
Oh, another one is the David Bowie song, not sung by David Bowie, but I don't remember what it's called. But the time or Change. I think it's just called Change.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, not. It's a cover, and I wish it was Bowie, but like, still, it was a fun sequence.
Yeah, I remember that one. That one's great. Obviously, the Counting Crow song at the start, very good.
Yes,
much appreciated.
That one's great.
I love that whole montage. I think it's a really great and funny montage.
In the first two movies, both opening montages are awesome.
Yes,
like I love that as a way to introduce the cast.
Oh, speaking of openings, so obviously the first movie, the opening is a giant spoof, right? You're reading from this fairy tale book, and then Shrek goes, as if that's gonna happen. Turns out he was on the toilet. Somebody once told me, kicks open the door. You know what I mean? We're right into it.
And the rest is history.
The rest was, yeah. But I like that Shrek 2, you see Prince Charming's perspective.
I like that too.
And Prince Charming is like, in Shrek 2, one of my favorite characters. Just this spoiled mama's boy.
Yeah.
Who like thinks he can get whatever he wants and is entitled. Like, fantastic.
But also they make his mother like a mafioso.
Yes.
She's great.
She's so good.
She's one of the best characters.
She's my favorite. Oh, I don't know. I was going to say she's my favorite villain, but Lord Farquaad, I mean...
In the series, you mean?
Yeah. John...
I think I like her better.
Yeah. I think so too.
I like her better too.
But Lord Farquaad is good. Like, just, I'm going to put that there, but she is great. Like, fantastic. Yeah. She's like genuinely scary too in parts. Not like as an adult, like I'm scared of her, but I just mean like in the context of the story, like she's a real threat to everyone's lives.
Well, yeah, because she can do anything.
Yeah, she's Thanos. Yeah, she's got the Infinity Gauntlet and
this Shrek Cinematic Universe.
For sure.
Wand is kind of like when she turns people into bubbles, just like Thanos does.
Yeah, just like Thanos does.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's true. Did Thanos take it from?
Let's just say the fairy godmother walks.
Fairy godmother. There we go. That totally left my head.
Fairy godmother.
I was like, what is she?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Also, sorry, were you gonna say something related?
No, nothing
I was gonna say
nothing
something
important.
unrelated. Okay.
Go ahead. Derail. That's fine.
Eddie Murphy is so good in this.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's good.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, but something about his performance, like, I find, at least for me, in all the movies, Donkey was always my favorite character. And I don't know if, like, the fact that Eddie Murphy played him made me like him more, or if I started liking Eddie Murphy more because he was Donkey.
Right.
But regardless, I very much appreciated his presence and his humor and obviously music. Because it was like, he sang so often, almost like a musical, as we know, my favorite genre of film.
Yes. I think, like...
Oh my god. Sorry to interrupt. Do you guys remember the Shrek Musical?
Yeah.
That was like on
That's
tour
on Broadway.
No, I don't. Is
that
a thing? Is
that
like a real thing?
That was absolutely a thing.
Oh man.
And like high schools perform it now. Like it's a traveling.
Have you seen it?
No, I have not.
All right, guys.
It was on in Ottawa at some point while I lived here, but I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna come back.
If it's ever back, or if it goes to Stratford, we'll meet in the middle.
Oh my
god. We'll go see
Stratford. I don't know if that'll happen.
We have to make it happen. We'll just manifest it, okay?
Okay,
Shrek's coming.
Shrek the Musical at Stratford. I'll keep my fingers crossed. Yeah.
I think what's so great about Donkey is just like, it's just the energy. It's just like Eddie Murphy just maintains that high level of chaotic energy at all times. It never dips.
He was, before Puss in Boots, he was my favorite character, and then Puss in Boots was my favorite character.
Okay, so bringing up Puss in Boots, we need to talk about this because little Marco in 2004.
I was gonna say, aren't you obsessed with
Zorro?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
So
I don't
here's
know why I
the
did a
thing.
V as in V for Vendetta.
yeah, V. Puss in Boots. You know, funny enough, like even though I was young, I'd actually seen Zorro a bunch with Antonio Banderas before this movie came out, before Shrek 2 came out. So yeah, seeing this movie, I was just like,
You just had a field day.
the meta joke, like forget any literal joke in the movie. The meta joke of Antonio Banderas voicing Puss in Boots is the funniest fucking thing I have ever experienced in my life. And then you add on to that the fact that he's playing it 100% straight. Like he's just doing his Zorro, but as Puss in Boots. And it's hysterical. Every single line that he says when he's trying to be serious is unbelievably funny. Every single one.
Do you guys know if Puss in Boots is like a pre-existing fairy tale character?
He is, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is he supposed to be like a Zorro type? Or is that just because...
That I don't know.
That might be
I just know there definitely is a story about a Puss in Boots.
I think he is supposed to be like a Zorro type, but I could be wrong.
So he was the perfect choice for this then.
Yeah. I mean, really, yeah, he's the only choice. I mean, it's fantastic. I mean, it's incredible, and like, obviously the meme of like the cat eyes, the sad like.
Of course, yeah.
Of course, iconic. Like as soon as this movie came out, iconic meme of like that being a thing. It's so great. Him carving his thing in the tree, just like Zorro does.
Yeah.
Great.
And also, this is really random. I mean, not that random. I'm talking about Antonio Banderas. But for some reason, every single trivia section for these movies on IMDb, like for each individual movie, listed which languages Antonio Banderas still voiced Puss in Boots for. And like by the end, he was voicing it for like the Japanese version, and I was like, wait, does he know Japanese, or did he like learn Japanese just to keep voicing this character in these other versions of the film? But kudos to him.
Like weirdly multi-talented.
Well, because it's like obviously he could voice like any Spanish version and like
for sure
English but like Japanese.
He could probably pull Italian too.
He could pull Italian.
Yeah.
But even just like as an actor, I just feel like he's so versatile because like he has such good comedic timing. Like not even just in this, but in Zorro, like he has incredible comedic timing. He's hilarious, but he can do like serious dramatic stuff. He can do action stuff.
He was in Spy Kids, right?
He was in Spy Kids. He's so good as the dad in Spy Kids.
That's where I know him from.
So amazing.
I was gonna bring that up if no one else.
Yeah, I mean he's great there. Yeah, I just love him. He's also like a good singer. I don't know if you guys know that. Like he's
he sings in this.
He sings in this, but he's also like done like shows like musicals where he's like had to sing and stuff. He's like a really good trained like stage actor and singer.
He's a Hugh Jackman type.
He's literally a Hugh Jackman type. Yeah, that's a very good pull.
Where has he been lately?
He's
disappeared.
What's he in again? Oh, Indiana Jones 4, right? Or 5. Sorry.
No, he's in the Uncharted movie. He's the villain.
Oh,
but I think
no.
he's also in Indiana Jones.
Is he? Really?
I think, yeah.
Uncharted is just modern Indiana Jones.
I know, so he's in both.
That's funny.
I could be wrong.
I didn't hear about that announcement.
I gotta double check.
That's interesting.
But I thought he was.
Also, I like how you said Indiana Jones 4.
I know. I mean, 4 in our hearts. Whichever way you want to think about it. Whichever one you want to get rid of. But, yeah, him and Donkey sing Livin' La Vida Loca at the end of 2, which, again, iconic.
Do you guys remember the like American Idol segment at the end of the movie?
Oh hell yeah!
Classic.
Oh hell yeah!
On the DVD, there was a whole thing where you got to vote for the winner.
Really?
Yeah.
I had it on VHS, so I just had to fast forward till after the credits and watch it.
Nice.
Yeah, if you had DVD, you got to vote, and I'm pulling up who won because I think that's important.
Oh, like they actually tallied the votes?
Yeah, they tallied the votes.
They gathered that information?
What the fuck?
Oh no, at the end of the VHS release, it gives a link to a website where the viewer can vote.
Okay.
That makes more sense. I thought it was DVD because I just assumed only DVDs had fun features. But the winner was Doris with 750,000 votes cast.
Damn.
That's a lot, actually.
That's insane.
For like 2004, yeah.
Yeah.
As just some
Early internet.
VHS extra, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, people are wild. Like, slight tangent here, but obviously in Batman comics, Jason Todd.
Slight tangent.
Wait. I promise I'll get there. Jason Todd is perpendicular. Jason Todd was killed, right, by the Joker. But the issue before he was killed, he was just captured, and DC Comics, in that comic, printed out a thing where they were like, call this number if you want him to live, or call this number if you want him to die.
No way.
And like, they got like thousands of votes. Like, people legitimately read the comic and then pick up their phone, and you had to pay because it was like a long distance. It wasn't like a toll-free number. So people like paid money, even if it's like $1, whatever, to cast their vote on whether or not Jason Todd lives or dies. As if, by the way, he was ever gonna fucking live. Like, of course they like. It was never. They never counted your votes, but whatever. That's the only reason I bring that up, is that people are wild and they like to participate in things.
Yeah.
They like to vote.
But it's like, that was like a main series comic where this is like an end of VHS like bonus feature that I'm sure a lot of people missed.
It is absolutely true.
And you had to use the internet at the time, which was like not as hadn't picked up as much since, or as it is now, of course. So like, that's impressive.
Of course.
750,000 votes.
It's pretty solid. Speaking though of like not hidden endings, but just like something after the fact. So watching Shrek this time on Netflix, the movie gets to the end, right? They're singing, Donkey singing "I'm a Believer," Fiona and Shrek right off, and it ends. And I was like, I remember there being like a whole other song and dance sequence.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. And then I YouTubed it, and on the VHS after that, there's an entire other like Shrek karaoke sequence. That
I specifically remember me and my friend, when we were like 5, we would just keep rewinding that part and dance to that part specifically. And that was just another like end of VHS. Yeah. It was like the American Idol thing. Like, you don't 100%. Get it on Netflix, but
yeah. They should put them on Netflix. Why not? Like,
they should put them as like shorts.
Yeah.
They have all the holiday shorts.
Yeah.
Like, why not put those as shorts? They're fun.
Well, if they're taking it off now, I guess it doesn't matter.
No, put it on for a month.
yeah, put it on for the next couple of weeks.
It's a little treat.
I would like to talk about Duloc.
Okay.
I just love it. I love when they get to Duloc and Shrek's like, oh, there's a big castle. Do you think he's compensating for something? And he just laughs to himself, and Donkey is just not having it. Donkey's like, okay.
Well, I mean, Donkey was us when we first watched this movie.
Exactly.
We wouldn't have gotten that joke.
That's why it's funny, is that Shrek is laughing to himself much in the same way that like an adult would laugh to themselves in the theater.
It's like, what was funny about that?
Yeah. I don't get it. I like the Disneyland style guy with the big Lord Farquaad head that gets scared and then starts running.
And even there's a sign at the beginning of the rope section where it's like 75-minute wait from here. Like it's a ride or something. And there's also no one in line.
No, there's nobody in line waiting to get in. And I like how the guy is running through the line.
And Shrek
just walks through. And then, of course, when they get to the booth, where the puppets come out.
It's a small world after all spoof.
Yeah. Yes. And I just, just the fucking laugh I get every time when the picture flashes and you cut and you see them on the picture and then it cuts to them and they're still making that face.
Shrek's face in that shot is like Ice Cube's face at the dinner scene
when
he finds out that Jonah Hill's sleeping with his daughter.
Exactly.
Yes. Oh
and also,
God.
real quick before we got to that, there's the turnstiles that they have to go through. Again, like Disneyland or something.
Yeah, it's so good.
I don't know how they didn't get sued by Disney, to be honest.
This is a question I had. I don't know if either of you guys know this. Like, how did they get away with,
Disney
talking
characters?
about every fairy tale ever?
Well, I was thinking about this last night, and I was like, it must be just really inspirational that they were able to create, this huge, coming together of all these different properties. They were allowed to do that. That would never happen today.
If I had
never in a million years.
If I had to guess, and I am going to guess, Carol, you tell me if I'm right, because you're researching, you're doing the diligent thing, I'm being a piece of shit on the internet. I would assume...
That's harsh.
Most of these... it's who I am. I would assume most of these characters are technically out of copyright, but the reason they're Disney princesses, quote unquote, is the same way how Universal owns the right to Frankenstein. and the only reason I know this is because I'm a huge Frankenstein book fanatic, but Universal owns the rights to Frankenstein in so much as anything that resembles the classic 1930s movie version of Frankenstein.
Oh, like the branded Frankenstein.
Yes, they own the branded Frankenstein. You could still 100% adapt the novel and make your own story from that for free. Cool. You just have to be like distinct from the Universal version.
That makes sense.
And I would assume, and I think thinking like about these movies and the way they show the princesses, like specifically I remember in Shrek 1 when they're doing the dating game thing, like Cinderella's in a yellow dress, not a blue dress. And I always remember as a kid that stuck out to me because I was like, no, Cinderella wears the blue dress. Why is she wearing yellow in this? So I think because it's, maybe Disney has the same thing where it's out of copyright, but if you just do a distinct enough version.
It's just because fairy tale characters are all public domain because they weren't actually created by Disney. It's as if they tried to use like Mickey Mouse, then they'd have issues. But because it's
even
simply fairy tale,
out of domain.
So Disney's weird though because they like changed copyright law. Because like I think Mickey Mouse should be in the public domain, but I don't think he is. Yeah, like I think they switched something with the copyright law where you can technically like own copyright forever now.
Oh, it's
fucked
sad.
up. Because when you think about it, like think about like Superman was created in the 30s, I think, late 30s. Yeah. So like in our lifetimes, hypothetically, if copyright law was still the case, I think it used to be 100 years. I think. Yeah. So like Superman would be in the public domain. Except now that copyright law has been changed, DC can just retain the rights to Superman forever, which is really fucked up. Yeah. Like it should just go because like Sherlock Holmes, that's in the public domain. That's why there's like 10,000 Sherlock series everywhere.
Or even like Thor is a mythical person.
Yes,
but the MCU Thor is a completely branded. Like you would be sued for trying to copy that Thor, but you can use any story where Thor as a god,
100%,
or any Norse mythology
because it's just Norse mythology. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, there's a little history lesson on copyright law for everyone out there.
I mean, a very sparse history lesson, I would argue.
Yeah, but I mean, it gets the point across. They get it.
Yeah.
You cite your sources.
Yeah. Things that I heard from people that I'm going to take as fact. Yeah.
Do we have anything else to say specifically from the first movie? Not that we're really going in order, but...
No, but I do. I love...
Okay.
I think my favorite sequence in this movie is the escape from the castle and the dragon sequence.
Yeah, it's very hype.
Still very exciting. Especially, like, after... Like, there's a point where Shrek goes to save Donkey, and then there's a slow-mo jump in the air.
Yes.
And then the music starts. That sequence starting from there is really hype.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's incredibly hype. I do really like that. I think, the dragons... Again, medieval times, loving Marco. I just... give me a castle and a knight and a sword and all that. Like, I vibe with that. I fuck with it super hard, so... Yeah.
See, I think... Yeah. Sorry, I was going to say my favorite sequence is actually, I think, when they first go into Lord Farquaad's Colosseum and then they have to fight all of the guards.
That was fun too.
I love that one. I still, even though I haven't seen it in years, I feel like I remembered it beat for beat. Like when they have the wrestling ring suddenly and like they're rolling on the barrels. So good.
Yeah. No. I 100% agree. I think that one is super iconic and fun.
When I was a kid, you know when Shrek's like, can we just settle this over a pint? When I was a kid, I thought he said paint. So for like the first 10 years of my life, I thought that stuff was paint.
Ah, okay, gotcha. I'm trying to remember what I thought it was as a kid. I don't know. I probably just didn't even... I was probably just too dumb. I was probably like, haha.
Liquid.
And I just moved on. That's a good... Oh, can we maybe, since you brought up that, like, thought it was paint, like, why is Michael Myers Scottish in this? Like, I mean, I know it's so iconic now, but, like, at the filming of Shrek 1, what was the...
Well, this is Europe, isn't it?
It is, because, but, like, I mean, John Lithgow isn't doing a Scottish... Like, he's the only one that's Scottish, specifically. Like, Donkey is
outcast.
Not anything... Oh, well, he's an outcast. There you go.
Yeah, Donkey isn't British at all. He's just Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, and Puss in Boots is just Antonio Banderas.
Yeah.
Fiona's just a white girl.
I have a fun fact.
Okay.
Well, I mean, initially Shrek was Chris Farley, but then he died, R.I.P. Like, they filmed most of his dialogue, and then they had to replace him.
Wow.
And then at the same time, Mike Myers filmed the whole or like recorded, obviously didn't really film anything, but recorded the whole film in like a normal accent. And then after he finished, he was like, actually, I'm gonna try something else, and went back in the studio for like 10 hours and re-recorded everything in the Scottish accent.
Wow,
He was like,
that's
I think
incredible.
this is better. And
In
then
10 hours.
I don't know why he made that choice. He also tried like
just
a
gonna redo
Canadian
the entire
accent or
movie.
something, but yeah, and then
Canadian accent.
Scottish stuck.
I mean, it's so iconic now.
Yeah, I can't imagine it any other way.
Also, fun fact, it seems like for most of the films, it took 10 to 15 hours to record all the dialogue. I mean, that's just me extrapolating, because I saw another fun fact for like the second or third movie, I think the second one, where it was estimated that Mike Myers, Cameron Diaz, and Eddie Murphy were expected to work only 10 to 15 hours on the film, like total each. And they got paid like a bunch of millions of dollars for literally 10 hours of work. So, you're shocked that he re-recorded it all in 10 hours, but that's about average, apparently.
Okay. Well, I guess, like, with VO...
For 2 hours of a movie, and you're not speaking the whole time.
Not even 2 hours. It's like an hour and a half. And, like, when you're filming a movie, there's two things you have to nail. There's the visuals and the sound. I guess when you're just doing VO, it's, like, half or double as easy, probably.
Yeah.
To nail a take.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the lines are probably just one takes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it's also, like, the other thing, too, is editing audio is so much more seamless than editing a picture cut. So you could easily stitch together multiple things.
Yeah, I would think so. That makes sense.
Also, sorry guys, I lied. On the second film, the fact was actually that they were expected to work between 15 and 18. So that brings the range up a little bit more. So I guess it is a little impressive that he re-recorded it all in 10 hours. But still not that impressive.
Yeah.
Well, the second movie's the better one anyway.
Yeah.
That's probably why it took longer.
Yeah, for sure. There's more happening in that movie.
Yeah.
Should we go through any notes that we have for Shrek 1 before...
Okay, but first in general, I just want to say I forgot how touching of a love story Shrek and Fiona have. Just in general.
It's good.
It's nice.
Like, sure, it runs through all the films and, like, you know, babies and whatever, cute, I guess. But in the first film, like, them falling in love, I forgot just how sweet it was. And, like, innocent. Because it started with her being like, you're not a prince, what's going on, and being really disappointed, to them, like, you know, like, flirting and whatever until he cares about her. I kind of forgot that was part of the plot, and I was like, this is so nice. Obviously, I love a rom-com, so I was like, this is great.
These movies are so many genres.
Yeah.
Into one.
And they're all my favorites.
Yeah. Musicals,
rom-coms, action adventure.
A little bit of action adventure in there.
Sci-fi in the fourth one.
Yeah. No, I do really like that. And I think it continues. I think they do a good job continuing it in the second one as well. There's good stuff in there. There's nice, sweet, fun stuff in there. Like, I like, obviously, how when Prince Charming shows up, like, pretending to be Shrek, who has taken the potion, but like, Fiona knows the whole time. She's like, no, like, this is obviously not Shrek. Like, that's very nice, like, I don't know, relationship stuff, I guess, that, like, she knows who Shrek is, but, like, everyone else is like, oh yeah, Shrek, sure, whatever, even though he's clearly not Shrek, even remotely. But yeah, it's a nice through line, and it is, I think, like, sweet and not weird, because sometimes some of these animated princess movies can borderline be a little bit weird every once in a while, where
Which
you're
one
like,
are you thinking of?
you know, like The Little Mermaid, like, why do they like each other?
I've never seen The Little Mermaid, but
Bro, you've never seen The Little Mermaid?
Wait, what?
What the fuck?
There's a lot of Disney animated fairy tale movies I have. Like, I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen Hercules.
Oh, damn.
I haven't seen Aladdin.
Bro, I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
It's not even like these are princess movies, so you can't even have that excuse. I mean,
you
like,
haven't seen
Little Mermaid.
Hercules?
No,
or
that's not the excuse. I just never got. I think the only ones I have seen are like Cinderella. I haven't seen Beauty and the Beast either. The original.
Oh my god.
Low-key, I don't like that one, so that's, I'm not gonna be mad about it.
What other ones? Oh, I've seen Mulan.
Okay.
Have you seen The Lion King?
Yeah, The Lion King.
Okay,
that counts
very
too.
good. Yeah.
I think that's like.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, one of these days, come over and we'll watch Aladdin and Hercules. I love both those movies. I think they're both very solid.
Those are good.
Yeah. But I do think the love story in this one is actually somehow more genuine than a lot of the other ones. Because it's more like character based, and it's not just like not plot based of like now you need to fall in love because we said this is the part of the movie where you fall in love.
These movies flip all of that literally on its head.
100%.
I think that's why it works.
Yeah, that's why it works so well. Yeah, for sure.
Do you want to move on to the second one now?
Let me.
Oh, you have notes?
Were we gonna do a quick a joke roundup? If anyone had any for this first one.
Roundup?
Sure, I do. Joke roundup. I have the quote of Donkey singing, because I'm all alone, there's no one here beside me, but you gotta have friends. And Shrek just goes, stop singing. It's so funny. I love that moment.
What's my favorite joke from this one? I should have thought of this ahead of time.
See, I feel like I just chuckled at a lot of little things. I don't know if there's like anything huge for me. Like at one point, Donkey just goes like, "That's a nice boulder," like that.
Yes,
hilarious.
That's great.
Okay.
He's like, I forget what the lead-in line is, but Shrek goes, "That's my home," and he goes, "Oh, it's lovely."
Because he's insulting. He's like, "Who'd want to live in a place like that?"
Yeah.
And then he's trying to make up for it. They're going down the hill. He's like, "I like that boulder. That's a nice boulder." Also, fun fact: the still image of Donkey standing next to the boulder was on the back of the VHS box.
Was it really?
I don't know how or why I remember that.
I love that. Okay, we need to talk about maybe my favorite side character besides Puss in Boots, which is Gingy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Gingy's
Gingy
good.
is phenomenal, and like the waterboarding scene in this when they're like dunking him into the milk, like, and it's like, do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man? The Muffin Man! Like I just everything about the Muffin
Man. You do a great Gingy.
Like, thank you. I can actually do it better. I'll do it for you guys in person when I'm not sleep deprived. I have a really good Gingy. But just the running joke of the Muffin Man. Like, I don't know why it makes me so happy, but like something about it makes me really happy. And Lord Farquaad being like, I know the Muffin Man. Yeah, he lives on Drury Lane. And he's like, okay, well, she's married to the Muffin Man. Like, what the fuck were they even talking about? I don't know. But I love that scene. Yeah. I think it's great.
I think if I had to pick a funniest scene, it's probably the "It's a Small World" like picture booth scene. Oh my God, just the picture part.
It's so funny, like every time.
Yeah, that would be my pick.
Okay, I'm gonna run through a few other ones that I have. Obviously, some of you may die, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Great, yeah. Very funny. I don't know where this quote is from, but it's just, oh, you know what? Maybe I could have decapitated an entire village. I don't know who says that or when.
That sounds familiar. I don't know either.
Okay. At one point, Shrek says, Donkey, two things, shut up, which, in keeping with my favorite joke from 21 Jump Street of when I say shut the fuck up, that's when I'm talking to you. Any jokes about telling people to shut up make me happy. I like when they're stargazing, and Donkey says, oh, I see it now, and Shrek goes, Donkey, that's the moon. Because it's like, I see it now, it's that big one, right? And he's like, that's the moon. Blue flower, red thorns, this would be so much easier if I wasn't colorblind.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Like, incredible. You want to hold her, you want to please her, then you gotta try a little tenderness. Classic. That's also another classic. Incredible. I love that. Okay, those are my random miscellaneous fun quotes.
I also really like Robin Hood and his merry men.
Oh yeah.
So good. I don't know why he's like French and like...
Is Robin Hood not French?
No, I think he's British. So I don't know why he's French, and like maybe just because he's supposed to be super horny or whatever, and like that's a joke about French people. But like but then I also love Princess Fiona like Matrix fighting.
Yes.
You get the specific call out of the Matrix pause in midair.
Couldn't be anything else.
So good.
I also just one more thing about obviously Robin Hood. They were dancing to a river dance, which for some reason as a kid I had on VHS and was obsessed with. So that was just a fun throwback to me. And fun fact, because Cameron Diaz had just done training for Charlie's Angels, when she was doing like voiceover for this fighting scene, apparently sometimes she'd just get like so into it she started speaking Cantonese.
What the fuck?
Okay.
I
know. Really random.
Can we do... Okay. How do we feel about Cameron Diaz?
Wait, before I get into that,
Okay.
there's one other line.
Yes,
that
yes.
I like. It's when they're walking through the sunflower field, and then Donkey's like, "So ogres are like cakes, then?" And then Shrek's just like, "Ogres are not like cakes."
Just Donkey trying to understand what
Yeah.
ogres are like. Yeah, it's a great joke in the movie.
So Cameron Diaz.
What's the vibe check on Cameron Diaz? What do you guys think about Cameron Diaz? Like not
general?
performance wise in this, but just like in general.
I really like her
Okay.
only because of The Holiday.
Yeah,
Christmas
right.
movie, if anyone's seen it.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Really good. And so that makes me like her. And then everything else is kind of hit or miss. I'm thinking about her performances. As a person, the fact that she's married to, one of the Madden brothers from, like, what are they in? Blink-182? I should know that.
Really?
That kind of weirds me out.
Right.
But otherwise, I don't really have a problem with her.
I'm trying to think of she hasn't been in a lot, has she? What has
She was in,
been
like, that Bad Teacher. She was in so much in, like, the 90s. She had, like, or early 2000s, I think, maybe.
Like, I know she was in
definitely had a
she was in
time.
There's Something About Mary. That's something I've seen her in.
Yeah.
Bad Teacher. There's, like, a sex tape movie. Charlie's Angels.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the other ones, just like, and then like the Shrek movies. That's all I've seen her in. I don't know if I have an opinion, to be honest. I don't really have much experience.
I've always gotten weird vibes from her, and I didn't know if it was just me. And when I say weird, I don't mean like, oh, she's weird. I just mean like I've had weird vibes where I'm like, I don't like something about you that like intrinsically just bothers me as a person. I don't know what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
So we can leave that there. I mean, if it's just me, it's just me. I don't know why. She's good. She's good as Princess Fiona. I don't have an issue with her.
Go to this website to vote on if you get bad vibes.
Yeah,
We'll
exactly.
tally all the votes.
Exactly.
If we get any less than 750,000 votes, we're canceling the show.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my god, no.
Yeah.
I don't wanna.
We'll get it. Don't worry. We'll
We
get
will.
to 750,000.
Yeah, we got it. No problem. We
I
have
was
like
bluffing.
60 views an episode. We can definitely pull that many votes. We definitely got it. All right.
Anything else to say about the first one?
We didn't mention that Hallelujah is one of the needle drops in this,
yeah.
which like single-handedly like rejuvenated that song for our entire generation. I feel
Sure.
like so.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
See,
good
that's
point.
why Shrek is culturally important.
It is culturally like the thing is like it actually is though. Like I feel like
Yeah.
so much of like our memes, humor.
Oh, the internet would fall apart if not for the existence of Shrek.
like it's built on Shrek when you
Yes.
think about it. Yeah.
Shrek is the glue that holds the fibers of the internet together.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Like no, all joking aside, like it definitely is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 2020, this film was selected for preservation in the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress as being culturally, historically, or aesthetically
go.
significant, making it the first DreamWorks film to win that honor.
And the only one, because you know Madagascar.
And it also happened in 2020.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know, it could. But yeah, anyway, these movies have so many fun facts. That's just another one to sprinkle in there.
Okay, but as good as the first movie is, we all agree that the second movie is that much better.
Exquisite.
Right.
It's the Godfather 2 of the Shrek series.
Or
Yeah.
The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
It's the better sequel, is what we're saying.
And it's better in the way that any good sequel is better, where it takes everything you like, amplifies it, but then like expands
Cuts
upon.
the fat.
Yeah, it expands like in new ways, and then trims out the stuff you didn't like, and just leaves only the stuff you like. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like it's so good. The plot's cool. It's very character based again, in a really cool way. It's very real, like Shrek and Fiona going back now to meet Fiona's parents.
Yeah.
This
think
one
it's
felt
fun.
very much like just an allegory for racism. Did
Kind
anyone
of.
else get that vibe?
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
With the
Kinda.
parents being like, wait, she's bringing him home type deal?
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely there as something to be read. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Very progressive for a Shrek movie.
Kinda.
Yeah. I mean, like, I guess that's kind of been their whole thing all along. Like, ogres, which
Yeah,
are...
I guess yeah, that's true.
Yeah, people are
Yeah, I mean, I
scared
guess-
of them for no reason type deal.
Sure. I think in the first one, they play more with ogre as like ugly, like ogre.
Yeah.
Ogre meaning like ugly.
Yeah.
And I think in this one it's played more in the race way of like ogre meaning different.
Yeah.
And then in the third one, ogre doesn't mean anything.
No.
But
But
in
yeah.
the fourth one, ogre almost
Ogres.
doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I guess there's a lot of ogres. Just one particular ogre almost
Sure.
doesn't
Our
exist.
ogre.
Yeah. Yeah.
The people's ogre.
Yeah, the people's
Yeah.
ogre.
Not my ogre.
Oh man,
God.
Shrek.
Sorry.
No, that was a good one. Yeah, this movie's fucking phenomenal. Like, I was not even being facetious. I can't say the word right now. I'm too
Facetious.
tired. Yes, that word. When I said this movie might be in like one of my top 5, like I get such joy out of this movie, and joy in the way that it's hysterical. I think the plot is really engaging and fun. I think all the characters are super engaging and fun, and I think it also has one of my favorite, hands down, like get hype moments ever in film, which is the holding out for a hero.
Yeah.
2 planes of action montage of like Will, Fiona, and Prince Charming kiss, and Shrek and the fucking giant gingerbread man.
Yes.
Oh, that's so good.
That was
It's
iconic.
so it fucking Gingy taking him to the Muffin Man. We finally get the payoff of the Muffin Man.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's incredible.
And then like even after that, after the big gingerbread man like dies, which is sad. But then the sequence of like riding on like donkey, I guess, the horse.
Yes.
To the
Yeah.
castle. And then when they get there and there's a whole like Infinity War style fight scene with the wand fighting over the wand like the gauntlet or something.
Dan, I literally made that note when they're playing keep away with the gauntlet
Basically.
of like, and they're doing
Oh my
that.
God.
But you know what I loved so much about the ending of this is like every character doesn't like not gets like a full arc, but every character gets like a moment
Yeah.
at the end of this, and it's so good because yeah, Gingy obviously pulling the thing down. Love when they poured the steam on him, which
Oh my God.
as a castle nerd, just so you guys know, sometimes when people guarding a castle, like they would have these like boiling hot oil during like a siege, and they would like tip it
Oh.
over on enemies that were trying to like break down the walls.
Cool.
So that's like historically accurate, but also it's just steam, which is funny because he's a cookie and he's
Yeah.
like, what is the line? He's like, we need less foam. Like it needs to
Yeah.
be hotter and less foam. It's really good. But yeah, I love Shrek and Donkey as the horse riding through. That's a really hype moment. And
Puss in Boots sacrificing himself.
dude, that is like,
That was so cool.
it's one of my favorite moments in film. Him staying back and the line he has is, "Today I repay my debt,"
Yes.
and it's just like
Is
it's
that a Zorro reference?
it's not, but it's too good of an action line to be in this movie. Do you know what I mean? Like that is something I would think that would be in Zorro, but
Yeah.
instead
Well,
it's
but
in fuck.
It's because
Yeah.
at the beginning, Shrek saves his life technically, so he like states,
Yeah. It's
I
just
have
so
to ride with you until I save your life.
Absolutely,
delivered so well though.
It is. It's delivered so straight. Where
With the
he's-
music too.
and I love the payoff of him doing the like the puppy eye face,
Yeah. To
and
lure
then
them in.
going full Zorro and fucking them up. It's just like, and the cover of Holding Out for a Hero here is still, I think, is like one of the best covers ever. Period in history. It's like,
Wow.
not that the Bonnie Tyler
Big
version is
words.
bad, but yeah, like I this is my preferred version of the song. Like this is my version of the song. This is the version of the song that
Yeah.
I
Is
Well,
it
this is the one I
because
heard
it makes
first.
you think of Shrek?
Yes.
Okay.
And this sequence,
Just checking, making sure.
like, it gets me so hyped. It's so good. I love it.
Is the version during the credits the original version?
No, the version
No.
during the credits is another cover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's 2 covers.
It's
that-
been covered a lot. It's weird how popular this song is.
Well, isn't one of them a cover by the fairy godmother actress?
That's the
Yeah.
one in the movie proper. Yeah.
And then there's another cover in the credits
Another
by
cover.
someone else.
Yeah, the Bonnie Tyler version is not bad, obviously. It's a good song. It's been used a lot. It's just, this year, it was used like twice in the same week, funny enough. So,
Oh.
Kevin Smith has been showrunning this new Masters of the Universe like revival show on Netflix. And in the trailer for that, they played that song. They played Holding Out for a Hero, like the original.
Oh, okay.
And then 2 days later, episode, I want to say 3 of Loki came out, and there's that montage where Loki is like fighting those guys, and they're playing Holding Out for a Hero, and those both happened like 2 days from each other, and the internet was like, the fuck? Why is everyone just suddenly using this song all of a sudden again?
Wow, I forgot that.
Everyone rewatched Shrek.
I think so. I think everyone rewatched Shrek and was like,
They were like, at the end of the year, it's being taken off Netflix. You have to watch it now.
yeah, we have to do this now.
So everyone collectively just like unintentionally watched it at the exact same time.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Speaking of the whole ending, I guess we're kind of going in reverse. We're going from the ending backwards, but
it's too good.
The lead up to the ending of them being in prison, and I guess even the lead up to that. Let's just
The cops segment.
The cops segment.
Oh my god.
Nice. And
Today
Gingy,
on Night.
Gingy being like, yeah, leave it here. I like when, and they're watching. They're just broing out watching this. He goes to the 3 blind mice and he's like, throw me a wing, and they completely fucking miss and then lands in the fish tank. Those mice get me every time. I don't know. It's so good.
They're so good. Just their use of these fairy tale characters from the first movie to the second movie. Like, I know we talked about like why this movie is so much better than the first. It's because they give these characters so much screen time, and they're great. Like, even Pinocchio saving him, like, by saying, "Tell a lie. Say you're wearing women's underwear," and he goes, "I'm wearing women's underwear," and his nose doesn't grow.
Yeah. And he's, "Are you?" "I most certainly am not," and it starts growing, and it's like, and I like Gingy going, "It's a thong!" Like, this has no right being in this movie, but it's amazing.
Yeah, but I also love how before that he like rappels down on his puppet strings.
And then even before that, the 3 blind mice light the match to light the dynamite on fire and fall through the hole because they just miss. And then it's up to the pigs to be like, oh, for fuck's sake, so they blow it up. Yeah,
well, it's also their fault for giving the 3 blind mice such important jobs.
I know, but it's just, it never doesn't make me laugh. Like, it's incredible. That whole thing is just, oh, it's so good. There is a line, I wrote it down. I'm gonna pull it just because it's in this part of the movie.
Okay.
Where one sec. Okay, so they're all strung up. The characters like Shrek, Puss, and Donkey are in the jail cell, and they're talking about how they're starting to go crazy. And Puss in Boots says like, "I have to do something before I go completely mad." And then the characters that are coming to save them make a noise, and he looks up and he sees Pinocchio, the 3 blind mice, Gingy, whatever, and then he goes, "It's too late." He's like he's completely, he's like,
because he's never met them before.
No, exactly. And I love that line. It gets me so much because there's such an interesting cast of characters.
But I also like how even before that payoff, like just the line, like, "I have to do something before I go mad," is said so straight faced. It's like, you're not, like, that's so out of character, even that one line.
I know. It's incredible how straight faced he is. There's okay. This is like a really deep cut, but it makes me laugh really hard. Yeah. I don't even know how to explain this. When they're in the potion room and they're going to steal the potions, right? And I forget the lead-in exactly, but Shrek comes up with an idea, and Puss in Boots is like, like, I had that same idea. Already our minds are starting to become one. But, like, as he says that, the camera, like, pans into him as if it's, like, this serious, dramatic moment. And just something about the way it's, like, shot and put together, and Antonio Banderas' like, just straight performance of it is so funny to me. It's, like, it's genius. Like, it's actually genius comedy at that point.
Yeah, and also the fact that he's trying to, like, suck up at that point.
Yeah, and just him and Donkey, like, hating each other.
Oh, and on that point, like, as they're walking up to the potions building, like, Puss has a laugh at one of Shrek's stupid jokes that's, like, way over the top. I don't know if you guys remember.
Yes, he does.
I don't remember what the joke was, but I thought that was really funny.
I don't remember the joke either, but it's like, yeah, it's like a obviously fake laugh. Like, he's just fake laughing really hard.
Like, 5 minutes ago, he was an assassin trying to kill him. And
yeah,
so good.
Okay, but also talking about, I guess, 2 things we touched on briefly, and I looked through my notes and realized I had points to offer. During the cop sequence or night sequence, instead of pepper spray, them just pepper grinding directly into their eyes. Hilarious. And also, I don't know if you guys remember this, but I think around the time this came out, there was a game, like I don't know if it was a PC game or just like on the probably like Shrek 2 movie website. But there was a game where you had to escape the potion lab as Shrek, and I remember playing that and thinking it was fun.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, I forgot to Google it to see if it was like a fever dream.
Well, I mean, there's also like I still have my Shrek 2 Game Boy Advance game, and there's
that I remember playing also at someone's house.
That one's still so good. Actually, it was a Shrek Madagascar double feature game.
Nice.
Whoa.
Humble
2 for
brag.
1.
Humble brag.
It's probably worth like $15 now.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, I also vaguely remember what you're talking about for some reason.
Oh, I think it was Shrek and Friends Potion Factory Escape.
That rings a bell. That actually sounds familiar.
I have no context for this, but
it was like a flash game.
Okay.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, not important. Those are my comments.
Yeah, but speaking of the potion room, one of my favorite jokes in this movie is the union joke.
Yeah.
Where they pretend to be the union members.
Relatable.
And then the guy at the desk's like, yeah, we don't even have dental.
I know. Oh, that's so good.
And then I like how after that, Shrek's just like, yeah, okay, we're just going to take a look around real quick. Like, this is obviously a really bad situation, so just leave it to us.
Yeah. He's like, and by the way, like, they probably should know that we're here.
It'd be better if the fairy godmother didn't know we were here.
I like at the beginning when they're like, oh, is the fairy godmother here? And he's like, no, she's not in today. And immediately she's like, can you bring me my coffee, whatever. And he's just like, oh, fuck my life. It's great. That's so real.
She asked
too.
for a Monte Cristo.
Yeah, Monte Cristo.
Yeah.
So specific. Why did she ask for a Monte Cristo?
Because she's so extra.
I guess.
Now you see where Prince Charming gets it from.
Oh, speaking of like extra, I love that they have Joan Rivers just playing Joan Rivers.
Yeah.
During the gala. Great choice.
Yeah.
It's really funny. Although I found huge rip. I found the delivery always odd when the fairy godmother shows up and Joan Rivers is like, who's this? Like, who's this? But she says it like 6 times. Yeah, and then she goes, who is this? And I was like, was that just like something that happened in the audio recording, like by accident that they left in the movie, or was that scripted? Because like
I think it's scripted.
I don't know. Like it's so. It was so real to me.
It was real, but like, yeah, because it's like when a car pulls up at like the red carpet. And
Exactly.
You don't know who it is.
Yeah, and I guess maybe because she's just done red carpets and stuff, like she was just able to like
probably
give it that exact, because it literally feels so real. It feels like someone being like, who the fuck is this? Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's really good.
Unless they took the audio from an actual red carpet and she didn't come in to record the lines, and that was the one that they chose, then they animated as such.
That would be possible. But she did. There are some specific lines that she would have had to.
Oh yeah, I guess the characters.
Yeah,
true. I also like in that sequence when Thumbelina gets like swept up.
Yeah.
Into the dustbin.
Yeah. I like Hansel and Gretel leaving their breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
She's like, what? Why are they doing that? Yeah, it's really.
Yeah,
good.
I love the world of Far, Far Away in this movie. I really like all the fake product placement.
Yeah.
Did you guys catch that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I have a whole list from IMDb.
Nice. Hit us with that fake product placement.
You want to hear
Do you
all
have
of
it
them?
ready
Okay.
right now?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
So there's the Burger Prince, Old Knavery, with an E obviously on old. The Far, Far Away sign, obviously looking like the Hollywood sign. Saxon Fifth Avenue. Romeo Drive instead of Rodeo Drive.
Wow.
That's a good one. That's fun.
I didn't catch that one.
Yeah.
Versarchery instead of Versace. Farbucks Coffee. Friar's Fat Boy, which is, I guess, a play on Bob's Big Boy. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. I think it's like an American chain.
Yeah, it's definitely gotta be.
Tower of London Records instead of Tower Records. Baskin Robin Hood. And FFPS instead of USPS. And Barney's Old York instead of Barney's New York. Abercrombie and Witch. And then the FFAPD for the Far, Far Away PD.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that one's cool.
That's it.
Speaking of the Starbucks one, I like when Gingy when I think it's Mongo is the giant gingerbread man, when he's walking down the street and he sees the Starbucks cup and he goes to lift it and it's empty.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Upset.
That makes me really happy. Just him being upset that there's no actual coffee in there.
I also just like how dumb Mongo is.
Okay, I actually
Wouldn't that kill him?
Yeah.
If he drank that?
I had a question. Yeah, true. Also, like, they're flat. Like, I don't know how Gingy eats. Where does it go? Like,
I don't think he does.
Well, okay.
But also, he produces waste.
Yeah. We specifically
But
see
also
that he
he
produces...
is food.
Exactly.
That's
That's why it's confusing.
Auto cannibalism?
Yeah.
But like self-cannibalism.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's odd. But I was thinking this time around, like, did Mongo have to be dumb? Is like the correlation, like, the bigger the living piece of food is, the dumber they are? Like, I don't, like, why couldn't he have just been...
I think it was because he was like a Frankenstein thing. He was like haphazardly created, like really fast.
Okay, gotcha. I guess
not
that makes sense.
a natural, like, birth. Was Gingy? No, but Gingy was cooked too.
Okay, so you guys have
A
seen
natural birth of a gingerbread man.
Yeah, you know, natural birth of a gingerbread man. You guys have you guys seen that Shrek short where I think it's the Christmas one?
Yeah.
Where Gingy like had a wife and kids that got eaten or something by Santa.
Yeah, there's that too. So like they can reproduce.
Yeah.
Oh my
But they
God.
can also be born in an oven.
Yeah.
So maybe Gingy was a clone. Maybe like that was the cloning version, and then they can actually like live and have families.
Gotcha.
Either way, Mongo was dumb because he was haphazardly created in like half an hour.
Yeah, that's got to be what it is.
For the situation.
Yeah. Fucking Mongo.
Yeah, that is such a great sequence though. Like him riding on his shoulder.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's incredible. When he does the Godzilla yell at the one part, oh my God, it's so good.
I need to add that to my list of references.
Yeah, it's a nice touch.
Yeah. Godzilla.
Getting back to some of the not ending parts of this movie.
Yes.
The fact that they got Julie Andrews and John Cleese to play
Right?
the mom and dad is wild to me.
Yeah.
That's what
And,
I was
like-
saying. This cast is insane.
Yeah. And like they're obviously both incredible. Like it goes without saying. Like they're phenomenal in this.
Yeah, it is just disappointing though that in the third movie Eric Idle was in it, but they don't share a scene with John Cleese.
I know.
The Monty Python crew.
It's so sad. Although the death in the third movie is one of my favorite fucking things. We'll get there when we get there. But like
we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
Incredibles.
Yes, Incredibles, or technically the Far Far Away joke from this movie, which is one of my favorites of Donkey. Yeah.
I love that part too.
I like when he's like, "We're going to the kingdom of far, far away, Donkey. Far, far away."
He like whispers at that point.
It's just the pain. Like it's so funny to me. Can you not be annoying for 5 minutes?
He's like, for 5 minutes, could you not be yourself? That again is a very Ice Cube moment when I say shut the fuck up, I'm talking to you.
Speaking of Ice Cube connections, because there was a really long car ride with an annoying character,
I
it
know what you're
immediately
gonna
made me
say.
think of, are we there yet?
Oh my
God.
This is, I mean, a parent's worst nightmare, but also another iconic movie featuring Ice Cube.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that movie.
Yeah, me too, but
I did watch that.
I was
when
obsessed
came
with it
out,
at the
though.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I watched it in theaters. To be honest.
I did too, actually.
I think I might
don't
have
know
as well.
why. What the fuck?
That was one
Why
of
did we-
those that I watched like way too many times. I
Right.
don't know why.
'Cause that was a
I think I
Christmas
had it
movie, right?
burned.
It takes place at Christmas, I believe.
Does it?
Because isn't he trying to get them home for Christmas?
I don't remember.
I
It's been
actually
so
remember.
long.
Yeah.
I'm
Fascinating.
looking it up.
You do that.
But also, just, to go back to not the end of the movie, I like that it started, I mean, just in general, the beginning was iconic with, as we alluded to, Prince Charming going and finding an empty castle, or not empty, with the big bad wolf reading porn.
Yes. Yes.
That, I didn't notice that until this time. I never bothered
Yeah.
to notice.
Yeah.
I also like what I like about that sequence is, like, if you pay attention, you'll notice that it was clearly after Shrek had been there because the bridge was already destroyed.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
cool.
It's a nice little touch.
Because
Nice
he has
little
to, like, grapple over.
continuity touch.
Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah, their honeymoon was cute. In your list of pop culture references, did you get that they Spider-Man kissed?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They also Lord of the Rings ringed.
And I got that one too.
Yes, of course.
That was another. When I saw that, I was like, podcast. We gotta talk about it. Yeah, Spider-Man kiss, Lord of the Rings. Yeah. But I like the song. You know.
And the song.
Accidentally in Love, kind of gross. Great.
What year was Shrek 2? Was that
2004?
4.
Okay. Oh, it's the same year as Spider-Man 2. But yeah, so only 2 years after Spider-Man 1 and like in the middle of the Lord of the Rings era. So like,
wild.
Not surprising.
That is actually crazy to think about. Because like, seeing them reference it, yeah, just my perception of time is weird. Yeah, I would think that this movie came out significantly after that. Maybe it's because those movies to me are so... like they've just always existed, you know what I mean? Like they're so iconic that I'm like, oh, those have existed forever. But no, they've existed, like we were born before those movies came out, which is kind of weird to think about. Same with the Matrix.
Wait,
like
which ones?
Like Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but same.
You just didn't know because you were so young.
100%. And I always feel that way about the Matrix, where I'm like, this movie this is like a classic, but it's like, nah, this movie came out when we were already just like children. Yeah. Like my dad just like left one night and saw this movie while I was alive. Like what the fuck? Like that doesn't even make sense to me. Like I don't know, it's weird. Yeah.
But anyway, back to Shrek.
Back to Shrek.
All right. Anything else from Shrek 2? Oh.
How savage is the dad for literally trying to kill his daughter's husband?
Yeah.
Like rewatching this, like as an adult. I mean, I guess I wasn't an adult last time. Let's be honest. I was like, this is horrific. This is a human.
It's fucked up.
I mean, I guess an ogre, but like still, it's just flat out murder.
Yeah.
I like though, like they later in the movie, I think, provide some context to it because he's a frog. You know what I mean? So like when she says the line of like, I helped you with your happily ever after, I can take that away. Like, but that comes a solid 45 minutes after he's already tried to kill his son-in-law. So it is a little bit like, okay, I'm glad we at least know this now, but holy shit, yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah, but I do like how like the frog. There's a frog at the bar. Mm-hmm. That like
there are actually a lot of allusions throughout the film to him being a frog, and I really appreciate them doing that.
Yeah.
So when he's talking to his wife about when they met, and he's like, the lilies were in bloom or whatever, he says something like that. There's other stuff. There's other.
He calls her Queen Lily.
Yeah. Oh yeah, her name is Lillian, too.
Yeah.
So, but when they met, he was already human, right? Because she didn't know at the end.
Well, he says to Fiona multiple times, like, people change for the ones they love, and he's changed a lot for her mother.
True.
I think
maybe she forgot.
I think the implication is that maybe as a frog, he like saw her one day, because they talk about how their first date or whatever was like walking down this path. Like the implication I always got, I forget the exact line, was that he like saw her frequently walking down this path, got himself turned into a human, and then like their first date / kiss, whatever, the moment they fell in love, was like also walking down that path together. Like that's always how I read that scene, but they're not 100% clear about it, so I don't really know.
But maybe because the fairy godmother was involved, she put a spell on Lillian to forget that
it's
it was
possible.
A frog.
That's 100% possible too. Also, and I only noticed it this time, but like this is their Princess and the Frog reference. Yep. I don't know how I literally never got that before, but like this is their oh my god me, this is their Princess and the Frog reference. Yeah, cool.
It's also cool, this is minor, but I like, so in the first movie I think Fiona just says a witch put a spell on her, and that's why she turns into an ogre at night. I like how in this movie we find out like it was the fairy godmother that was the person that did it. Mm-hmm. That's just kind of cool world building, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. It's fun.
Yeah. Just a minor thing.
It just expands the universe so nicely. Yeah.
The Shrek Cinematic Universe.
The SCU.
Okay, did you guys know, or do you guys know, who played the ugly stepsister?
Yes. I do. Only because I caught it in the credits of Shrek 4 somehow.
Right? Oh, Shrek 4. Wow. Yeah, Larry King.
Yeah.
Insane. And then the other one, do you guys know who plays the other one?
No.
Carolina?
No.
It's Regis Philbin.
No, it's not. Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's funny. Larry King's dead now, right?
Yeah.
He is?
Yeah.
When did he die?
I think like during peak COVID times.
Oh.
Did he? It was
'Cause
kind of recent.
It was recent. It was like a year ago. Because I remember, like, obviously, it's been a meme for so long, like, how fucking old he was or whatever. So then I couldn't remember if, like, he actually died or if I just thought he did because he was old. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he's passed.
Do you remember when he's in B movie?
Yeah.
As B Larry King.
B Larry King.
That always bothered me even as a kid. Like, they couldn't come up with a better pun than B Larry King.
I mean, the main character's name is Barry B. Benson, so, you know, yeah.
Maybe that was the point. It was just, like, Jerry Seinfeld's dry humor.
I think B movie is a joke.
Well, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I think
The whole thing is definitely a joke.
No, but, like, I think, like, Jerry Seinfeld, like, intentionally set out to make the dumbest movie he could. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's, like, a joke on
Maybe.
the system. Like, I'm gonna create something so shit and it's gonna be popular and, like, that's the joke? I don't know.
It could be.
I
Was
don't
that
know.
also DreamWorks?
I think it was.
Ooh, good question.
DreamWorks is, like, they're on top of meme movies.
Yes.
Like, they have the monopoly.
They do. Because even Madagascar is very memeable.
Yes.
Like
I
the
love
penguins.
Or when Alex, like, meets Mort for the first time, it's like, hi there.
Yeah. yeah.
Okay, do we have anything else to say about Shrek 2?
Let me pull up my notes.
I gave a quick scan, and I think I'm okay for notes.
Okay. Lord of the Rings,
I
Spider-Man, we got
mentioned all
that.
my favorite parts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here is a fun reference that the trumpet player in me very much appreciates, which is after all the trumpet players do their little song,
Oh, yeah.
the one guy plays the Hawaii 5-0 theme for some
For
reason.
no reason, yeah.
But that's also just like so trumpet culture. Like
Trumpet culture.
if anytime I've ever been around other trumpet players and we were like warming up for like a concert or whatever, someone always starts playing the Hawaii 5 because it's like the iconic theme song played on trumpet exclusively. So like that's a very trumpet culture thing. So yeah,
I
really
like the
enjoy it.
term trumpet culture.
Yeah, I coined it.
Is there trumpet cultural appropriation?
I think it's definitely possible. You know, I haven't seen it happen, but I think you could. I think you could make it happen.
Oh, my God.
I like when the dad is ranting, when John Cleese is ranting, and the fairy godmother pulls up and he like screams and he's like, ah, and the wife's like, what's wrong? And he says, nothing dear, just an old crusade wound acting up again. That made me laugh. Medieval times. Yeah, obviously all the Puss in Boots Zorro stuff. When Shrek steals the guy's clothes and he says, someday I will repay you, unless of course I can't find you or I forget.
Oh, I thought you were talking about when he steals the factory workers' clothes.
Okay, that is also hilarious.
He's like pretending to be like a 9-to-5 worker.
He's like, hey Mac, TGIF, am I right?
Working hard or hardly working.
And he's just got the fucking arms flapping out where his ears are.
The cloak from the short guy is just basically like a head mask for him.
It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, knights instead of cops. When they're captured and Donkey's like, do I have the right to remain silent or whatever? And Shrek says, Donkey, you have the right to remain silent. What you lack is the capacity. Great joke.
Yeah.
It's a phone. Yeah, that was the last thing I have written down. Okay, I think I got all my notes out for Shrek 2.
Right. Shrek 2, best Shrek movie.
Yeah, best Shrek movie. Okay, is there any objection to the rankings being 2, 1, 3, 4?
No.
No.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely
Glad
not.
we're all on the same page about that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to 3.
Alright.
Yeah, I feel like these discussions will be shorter.
Yes.
yes.
I don't
Although
really
I will
know
say-
how much-
Yeah, because the third and fourth I've both seen like not frequently at all. The beginning of 3 is very iconic to me with the stage play of the Shrek story with Prince Charming acting in it. That I
Right.
remembered really vividly. And for some reason, I don't know why, like I don't know if it's like because they were in a lot of commercials or something, but I feel like in the world, like outside of the film, I saw so much of Shrek's children. You know what I
Me too.
mean?
Yeah,
Like,
me too.
did they
me
make
too.
They were
dolls
promoted a
or
lot.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
they
feel
were
like
huge.
I was just attacked with Shrek's children. Like I saw them everywhere.
I agree. Yeah.
And I think a big part of it too was pretty much every like after Shrek 3 is when all those shorts came out, and all
Yeah.
the like holiday shorts involved the kids.
Like, I think they had, like, McDonald's toys or some bullshit.
Yeah,
like,
they
they
did.
were
Yeah, they did.
everywhere. Yeah.
I think I had some. They 100% did, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to... Okay, so this is a weird question, but did Shrek 3 come out before or after the first Despicable Me movie?
Before, I think.
Because I almost kind of felt like maybe them pushing the kids was a reaction to Minions.
Oh.
But if it came out before, then
I'm pretty sure it was before. What was it, 2007?
I think it was 7, but I don't know when
Despicable Me
came
came out 2010. Yeah.
Okay. So
And this
it's
third movie came out 2007.
Interesting.
So the Shrek had been done before that.
Yeah, damn. Shrek
Well,
had
the last Shrek movie
Yeah,
came
like
out
far
same
peaked.
year.
Yeah, same year, but
Yeah.
like the end of the
Yeah.
franchise.
The era.
The opening. This is a weird nitpicky thing. I like the idea of like Prince Charming just like being
Writing
the
his own
pathetic
narrative.
idiot. Yeah. But like correct me if I'm wrong, but it doesn't do the storybook thing, right? Like it.
No.
This is the
one that
only
doesn't.
film. Yeah.
And that's why it bugged me. Just
Yeah.
the completionist in me. I was like, ugh. I was like, no, like it's a franchise. Start all of them the same.
Yeah.
It would be like
Yeah.
if one MCU movie didn't do the MCU like flipping pages Marvel logo.
Yeah.
Like if just one of them didn't do it inexplicably, I would be like, just fucking. Why would you? Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the first time we watched Rogue One.
And there's no title.
And there's no Star Wars title
Yeah.
crawl. And obviously now it's like with other spin-offs they don't do the title, which is
That
fine.
makes sense.
It makes sense,
But this is just a direct sequel to the rest.
it would be like if episode 8 didn't have a title.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, they almost got sued because of the play. Because they did the coconuts for the horse's hoofs noise.
Oh.
And Idol walked out of the premiere and claimed to be considering suing the producers of Shrek for the unauthorized use of this gag.
Bro.
He was in the movie.
I know.
Him and John Cleese were in the movie.
I'm sure it was fine.
And also, like, can you own the rights
To making a sound effect?
making a sound effect from
can't imagine.
coconuts?
That's kind of a stretch.
That's pretty fucked up if you ask me.
He
Like
was
if anything I feel like that is just a reference to the fact that 2 Monty Python actors are in the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah, it
mean?
was the producers said it was to honor them. But
so then,
one of
I
them
don't
was
know.
mad. I
That's
don't know.
funny to me. I mean, what's
No, it's hilarious.
yeah, that's wild. That's wild to me.
Calm down.
This movie, the villain plot in this movie, I really hate.
Yeah.
Maybe
me
even
too.
more than the fourth one. And I like, obviously, the fourth one less, but at least the fourth one, I get it. Rumpelstiltskin is a piece of shit. And who, like, who tricks people. He's like a lawyer. Okay, cool. Like,
But also super random. Because he wasn't even
Yes.
alluded to in any of the other films. Or I guess he appeared in this one as a totally different character.
And that's weird. Yeah,
But-
he looks completely different.
Yeah.
yeah, it means nothing.
But but like that one makes more sense, I guess.
Well, because it's more of just like we have a villain again. Like all the Shrek movies have had a villain, and in this one, I guess Charming is the villain, but
Yeah.
like it's more just
A follow up.
yeah.
To the last movie.
It's weird, and also he's not even his own villain as much as like he just symbolizes what this whole group of villains are, which is people that were the villains of their fairy tales and have
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
like treated badly
Just
for it.
people that lost, I guess.
It's really like odd. I don't know. It's very, I feel like, confused, and
Yeah.
it just leads to a lack of like you don't have that one person to go up against because it's sort of like what it's weird.
Yeah, but I do like the concept of like the bar full of fairy tale villains.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
cool.
It's cool.
Well, but that
I
was
mean,
also in the
set
last
up.
film.
Yeah.
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 So credit to Shrek too.
That is
Exactly.
where
Credit
it
goes to Shrek
originated.
too. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I also like how that bar is called the Poison Apple. That's
Yep.
cute.
Yeah.
That's a nice name.
I honestly think, like,
That's a
for
nice
me in
bowl.
this film, like, the princesses are my favorite part.
Oh,
Like, they're the only thing that got me through it. Like, honestly, the third and fourth films, when I had to rewatch it for this, I, like, could not make myself pay attention.
I know.
The only time I
Especially
did
the fourth.
is when the princesses were on. But also just, like, while we're talking about it, do you know who plays the princesses?
I didn't look it up, so
No.
I have no idea.
It's, okay, Snow White is Amy Poehler. Cinderella's Amy Sedaris. Do you guys know who that is? You should know
Yeah.
who that is.
Yeah.
Okay. And Rapunzel's Maya Rudolph.
No way. Is it really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
I
that.
hear it now.
Yeah.
But I never would have like guessed that.
Right?
That's cool.
And also someone else. Oh, John Krasinski and Seth
Yeah.
Rogen are in this
Yes.
movie.
Yeah.
Wait, who's Seth Rogen? Was
He's
he
just the
ship
ship
guy?
captain. Yeah. I because I didn't pay attention to this film because I couldn't really make myself. I saw that just in the credits at the end, and I was like, wait, where were they?
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
I knew about John Krasinski. I didn't know that Seth
Yeah.
Rogen was the ship guy. Aren't there 4 princesses though? There was Cinderella.
Yeah,
who was
Sleeping Beauty's in it, but she was just like I
Somebody.
didn't recognize her. Her name was Sherry O'Terry. She was on SNL for 5 years.
Oh, okay.
So she was
just
part
a
of that
bunch of
crew because
SNL
they're all
alums.
SNL people. Yeah,
That
but
makes sense.
I
That makes
I didn't say it because it wasn't as exciting. Sorry, Sherry.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the princesses. I think just like they have good energy.
I like that
Yeah.
story better than the Arthur
The Shrek story. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Although I wish, because as we talked about, these movies, at least the first 2, are actually like relatively progressive in their message.
Yeah.
And like obviously women empowerment is progressive, not that it's not, but the way that they chose to display that is like the mom headbutting through walls. And
That
I
was
like,
out of nowhere.
I was like, this is completely out of fucking left field. Like there's
And also
a way
brick walls.
like yeah, I don't. And she's like, how do you think, like she's like, what did she say? Something about
She's like, you don't think you got your moves from your father, do you?
yeah. And
I know. I guess like it's like in the first Shrek movie, there's no explanation for why Fiona can do like kung fu. But that was
I don't know,
more.
she was in the tower for a long time.
Yeah,
What
she was in
else
the
was
tower
she
for a long
doing?
Yeah, I mean, but there's no one to fight. She was.
that's true.
alone.
Okay, that is true. That is true. But I guess
That was more of a joke. Well, this is a joke too. I don't know why this one feels so much more stupid.
well, I
That
think
was
here's what
it.
it is. Like, let's say there was a fight scene and the mom was doing kung fu and then said that line. Like, okay, that's a fun callback to Shrek. But the mom, like, isn't fighting. She just headbutt a fucking wall. Like, what does that have to do with
Yeah,
anything? Like, what skill? What?
It's not really a move. It's just like putting your head through a wall.
Here's what would have been funny. If the mom had, like, done something from the Matrix that wasn't the kick, like another famous Matrix thing, and then said that line to Fiona, that would have been funny.
That would've
Because
been
that's a meta joke of, like, they're both doing Matrix moves.
Yeah.
But again, she headbutts a wall, and then they're like, oh, look, there's another wall. And then she has to
Actually-
headbutt that.
But that is a Matrix move.
Morpheus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
just
guess.
realized that.
But then in that case, I rather she would have went, oh, and just punched through. Because then I
And
think
we should have seen it from the other side.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of...
But I do like after the second headbutt how she's humming the Sound of Music theme.
Yes.
With Julie Andrews.
That is fun. And I like overall like what that scene's going for when they kind of realize that they're fucked, and so the princesses are like, okay, time to do something, and they all just get in their like resting positions.
The rescue position.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, we're just waiting to be saved. Like, okay, cool. Like, I think like that's fun to show how like Fiona's different, and it's
Yeah.
like again progressive message. It's just fuck, like just anything but headbutting through a wall. You know
And
what I
also,
mean? Like,
why didn't she do that before?
I don't know. That's the thing.
If
Like,
she knew she could do that, why were they in there for hours?
I don't know.
I also just feel like the last 2 films, like, I don't know if they were made by different people, or in theory I do know. I have the notes. I just don't really want to look through them. It's not that
Okay.
important. But they really put a lot of emphasis on like Fiona's not like other girls, and I'm like, why did
Yeah.
you need to do that? We already know her. Like,
Yeah.
there's
No,
no
I know
need
what
to
you
do
mean.
this.
You don't need to sell
We get
us
it. She's a
on-
badass. You showed us that at in the first film.
Yeah.
We get
Yeah.
it. So dumb.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. Very dumb.
But also-
I hate. Yeah.
Okay, no. Say what you hate. That sounds more fun.
I hate the fact that Justin Timberlake voices a fictional character in this, when in Shrek 2 there is a joke
Yeah.
when there is a Justin Timberlake poster in Fiona's room.
Yeah.
It's because
Fuck.
Cameron Diaz and Justin Timberlake were dating at the time. Actually, the people who made the film didn't know that, but they were. Fun fact. And then they weren't by the time this one came out.
Wait a sec.
Yeah.
Is she not like significantly older than him? Am I totally wrong on this?
I don't think
think so.
significantly.
I feel like
I
in
think
my
they're
head
both
they're
in like their 40s or something.
is
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake that old now?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is. He's not.
Yes.
I mean, I thought he was like in his 30s or something.
No.
No, well, he's
he was,
Britney
like-
Spears era.
Yeah, when he was like in NSYNC.
Yeah.
They're both
okay.
in Mickey Mouse Club.
Okay, fair enough. I guess. For some reason, maybe it's his voice, because he has such
He
like
has
a
a high
high pitched
voice,
voice
yeah.
that maybe
Yeah.
I just always
Which is
associate him with
perfect
still
for
being
16-year-old Arthur.
It
Sure,
is.
yeah.
It is. You know what's awful and cringy?
When Shrek tries to relate to him?
When Shrek tries to relate to him, any of those like Shrek learning to be a dad moments are just really, really bad. But also when Arthur finds out that he's royalty and is leaving the school and gives his speech, awful.
Yeah.
It's really hard to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake's performance in this movie, it's
rough.
very non-acting celebrity performance.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's really
But
unfortunate.
now he is an acting celebrity and does a bunch of voice work.
But before that,
a bunch of voice work. He's in Trolls. And Trolls World Tour.
But I get what you're saying, Dan, because this comes out in 2007. He's not really acted, but after this, he does Social Network.
Yeah.
He does, like, for example, the one with Mila Kunis that I really, really like, the rom-com.
Friends with Benefits?
Friends with Benefits.
Oh, yeah.
He's really good in that, I think.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, he's done lots of stuff since, but I feel like maybe this honestly was, like, one of his first acting roles.
It must have been.
Because, yeah.
Under the right director, you can do a good job, but like, this is a director of a Shrek movie.
Yeah,
so
it's like no-name brand director. Like,
yeah.
Nobody knows. Yeah.
The whole Arthur plot. Like I said, it's my least favorite part of the movie, and not only is it my least favorite part of the movie, it pushes Shrek to like the back of his own movie, which is unforgivable.
Yeah.
Maybe Mike Myers was busy.
But he was still like in the whole movie.
But just not contributing.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
He was still saying things.
It's frustrating. And then also I think, going back to Shrek 2, I think so much of what Shrek 2 does well is the thing that we really like, for example, from the end of like a Star Wars movie, which is like the multiple planes of action, but they all tie in together.
They're all for the same cause. So it's like, Luke and the Emperor fighting while Han and Leia are on the surface and Lando's trying to blow up the Death Star. You know what I mean? It's like everyone's doing the same thing, but in different ways, in their own character ways, and they all need each other to do their things. And like Shrek 2 does that as well, right? Where you have Fiona dealing with Prince Charming and the fairy godmother and her parents, and Shrek on the other side of that, like dealing with his own stuff, and then it all culminates in the holding out for a hero moment where you get like multiple plot reversals and yada yada, and it's great. And also, I know we're past Shrek 2, but what's so great about that is that at like midway through the movie, Shrek and Fiona share a scene for the last time until the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So when they come back together, it's very rewarding.
Exactly. That's what... it's great. And this movie does that, except I feel like they're disconnected movies from each other.
Yes, because he wants to be away because he just found out he's a father.
Yeah.
Whereas in Shrek 2, they want to be together, but they're driven apart.
And then also it's like, okay, like what's even like happening? It's like Fiona...
has had a baby shower,
and then the villain from the last movie takes over the town.
The castle,
and then Shrek is on a quirky adventure with a teenage boy.
Yeah,
like they're so disconnected that when they all culminate at the end in this pathetic fucking climax where it's like the play or whatever, and then Arthur shows up at the end to be like, "No, I actually."
King Kong reference.
Yeah, he's like, "I did come back" or whatever, and he gives a speech, and I was like,
"Wait, what's the King Kong reference?"
I think just him being chained to the stage gives me King Kong vibes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
I got the same vibes. The same, or maybe, I don't know if that's, no, I think that's across all King Kong. Like, I know it's definitely in the Peter Jackson one from 2003, but I don't know.
I think it's also in the original one.
Yeah, it must be in the original. Yeah, I don't know. That climax, it sucks, dude. Like, I don't know what happens. Like, they just kind of sit around and talk.
And also, like, because I didn't pay attention, what was the point of Merlin? Like, I know he ended up switching Puss in Boots and Donkey, but like, why? Yeah, he also annoyed me.
Because Arthur. You can't have Arthur without Merlin.
Okay.
But like, what actually was his point?
I don't know.
Because they just had to collect Arthur and go back, no?
Okay. It's to get them back to Far, Far Away really quickly.
But the point of them crashing there is because Merlin gave them a therapy session.
Yeah, it's for the fake character development of Arthur to have this very specific vision of a bird's father that left him. Yeah. Like, okay, we couldn't have done this some other way. And
I do like in that scene though when Shrek goes to talk to him and then Merlin starts playing the music really loud.
Yes. I have to say
that was funny.
Merlin and Eric Idle in general. They're in a different movie, but I like in terms of the performance and like it's but I love it. Like, I do think it's hilarious. It doesn't fit,
No.
but it's still funny to me.
Yeah, and I also like when they first meet him, and then he offers them like rocks to eat, and then Shrek's like, "Oh, thanks, but I just had a boulder on the way in." That always made me laugh.
That is a good line. Merlin's, he's fucking wild, dude.
And he's just basically like this, like hippie,
I guess.
Yeah. Give me
'Cause-
hippie vibes.
because he was like a magic teacher that got expelled or something
Yeah.
from the high school.
Yeah.
It reminded me kind of like something from a Harry Potter movie when Umbridge expelled one of the teachers.
Yeah.
Did you say our ninth grade drama teacher who got expelled for doing cocaine?
What the fuck?
Did you guys miss
Who?
her
Our high
at
school?
our high school? I mean, I wasn't in the class, but there was a teacher in our first year. Okay, well, yeah, now drama time, I guess. Yeah, she got fired because she did cocaine, like, on school hours. And
I had
came into class
no
one day
idea.
acting like absolute batshit. And, like,
What?
the principal ended up finding, like, cocaine on her person or something like that. But, yeah,
Wow.
so that happened in our first year of high school. You guys really
That's
didn't
cool.
hear about that?
How did I hear nothing about that?
Carol,
I don't know.
I pretty much exclusively talked to Dan and like Angelo and Miguel in first year. So I don't know.
And
like,
I don't think any of them took
I don't think any of you guys
No,
had the
I didn't take
information.
any of
So, you know, we didn't
That's fair.
distribute it amongst each other. But yeah, that's pretty
Oh, it's wild.
crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, unrelated.
Anything else to
I
say?
mean, kind of related. Merlin.
It is related because Merlin.
I have,
Do we have?
my favorite joke.
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
I
go
have a
for
few too, so you go first.
It's because we didn't really talk about it, but the king dies at the beginning.
Yes.
And it's after the king dies, when the frogs all start singing "Live and Let Die." The chorus, frogs sing "Live and Let Die." Just great, hilarious. Love
Yeah.
that song.
Yeah,
No.
because like, isn't singing frogs like another fairy tale thing or something?
I think it's more of a fantasy trope. Like, it's in Harry Potter as well. But I guess, like,
Oh, yeah,
they
it's-
combine, like, fairy tale and fantasy stuff, like, willy-nilly
Yeah.
in this. Yeah, I love that because I also like "Live and Let Die" the song, so that's fun. Something I
Oh, and that was a James Bond original, wasn't it?
absolutely, and this is a story that I
Oh,
am here to
really?
tell you, Carol, because it was a very funny story from recent memory where Dan came over and Angela and I had, I think, either just recorded the podcast or maybe just released the podcast we did on James Bond. And we were just talking about it, whatever, and Dan brings up, or someone brings up, the song "Live and Let Die." And Dan was like, "Oh, whenever I hear like that James Bond movie, I always think of the Paul McCartney song." And I was like, and then I was like confused for a second, and so Dan kind of intuited. He was like, "Oh, is that the song? Like, is that the same song?" And I went to say yes, and then Angelo said no, and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He's like, "That's not the song." I was like, "Angelo, do you not know who Paul McCartney is? Like, that absolutely is the song." It was just a very chaotic, like, 5 minutes of trying to get this information straight amongst everyone. But it was fun. And now I always have that memory when I think about "Live and Let Die."
Yeah, I didn't know that, like, it was the James Bond song. It was an original.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah. It's
And
cool.
not by Paul McCartney?
No, it is by Paul
It is,
McCartney.
but
Okay.
I guess then thought that Paul McCartney did like a cover or something, or
Right.
he did the original. I don't know.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It was fun.
It's all the same song. Long story short.
Long story short, the song "Live and Let Die" by Paul McCartney is the James Bond song, and it's also the song sung by the Frogs.
Yeah.
In this.
Gotcha.
Speaking about the death.
Okay.
Okay.
The sequence.
Well, someone better be dying. Hard cut. I'm dying.
Oh my god.
It's
that one's so
fucking incredible to
good.
me.
Dying.
Like, that is as funny to me as the picture from Shrek 1 of just like the comedy editing. It's so good.
And I also like when he's dying and he like keeps fake dying, trying to get the information out.
Yeah. His name is.
What's his name? What's his name?
Like, a puss keeps like taking off his hat and
Yeah.
put it back on. Yeah. And just like his ridiculous coughs. Like, they're so over the top. It's incredible.
Does he have cancer or something?
Frog cancer. It's so
I
good.
guess it would have been the plague at this time.
Ooh. They should have
Easter
made a
egg.
joke about
You think
that.
he
Yeah.
died of the plague? That's so dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not as dark as
Not as dark
the
as
fourth movie.
yeah. Let me just run through some of these. So I already talked about the Cats in the Cradle, Donkey singing that song, and Shrek being like, that's not helping. Like, that's funny, like, again, adult joke, but I really appreciate it. Obviously, Dada, the meme.
Yeah.
just, I mean, it's horrifying, but it's incredible.
That whole sequence is weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah, it's pretty trippy. It's weird. I like when they're doing the bridal shower or baby shower. I guess it's a baby shower, and they're doing the gifts, and she opens the big gift, and it's just the short man, and he just goes, "Where's the baby?" Like, I don't know why, but like that guy's fucking hilarious to me. And then the last one I have here is Gingy's complete mental breakdown sequence.
Oh, where his life flashes before.
Where his life flashes
God.
before his
That
eyes.
has to be a reference to something. I don't know what, but that's too specific.
I agree. It is too specific,
Especially the treadmill shot. That's out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's so funny to me though,
Yeah.
just because it's Gingy, obviously, as we've established, like best side character. But yeah, I almost want to look it up and see what is this?
It's gotta be.
Why is this in the movie? Why is it like a minute long?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were all the few moments I laughed at in Shrek 3.
All right.
Nice.
I've already said my favorite funny jokes, so.
Are we
Are
on
we
the
ready?
last one?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, before we get there, it's really random, because they made 4. For some reason, the third one is missing so many elements of the rest of them. As we mentioned, no storybook at the beginning, but also it's the only one where Shrek and Fiona don't need to share true love's kiss to solve the problem.
Yep.
I
So
kind of
that's
applaud
weird.
that though, for kind of breaking the mold a little bit. It didn't work.
It didn't work,
But-
and then also the fact that they go right back to it.
Yeah,
is
that's
what
I think the most
worked.
frustrating part, and
Yeah.
also why I hated this last movie. But I have so many notes on it, I think simply because I was like, I don't remember any of this. I don't even know if I saw this before. Maybe this was my first
Marco.
time. I wouldn't
That
be
was my
surprised.
thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? This movie has a lot of memes, and maybe you've just seen all the memes.
Maybe.
You thought you saw the movie before.
I thought I knew Rumpelstiltskin's character, but
Also-
I don't know.
Did you guys think he was Jack Black?
Oh, his voice sounded so familiar to me, but then I looked him up and I was like, I don't know.
I don't know who. Yeah. Who
Yeah,
was
me
this? I
either.
could have swore it was. Jack.
It was supposed
Yeah.
to be Paul McCartney. Speaking of,
No way.
What?
but
What
he
the shit?
dropped out due to
Why?
creative differences.
Well, because it was a bad movie. He was like, "This is a shit movie." That's funny. Yeah, this movie is dark, not just in its lighting, but also in its subject matter.
Yeah,
And it-
Shrek doesn't exist because
I mean,
he hates being a dad and
before that,
hates
though,
having his house be a part of Star Tours.
Even
Well-
just the midlife crisis that leads us into it.
Exactly. It's just this movie is fundamentally about a man having
That
a
part of it's
midlife
almost
crisis.
too real.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why it's fucked
sure.
up. Yeah, and it's like I don't want to watch this in a Shrek movie.
Also, this movie is the Santa Claus 3, the escape clause of Shrek movies.
Oh my
Yep.
god, stop.
Yep.
See,
Nope,
but
you're
I
100%
liked
right.
the escape clause only because of Jack Frost, but still.
Oh yeah.
Martin Short. See, if
Yeah,
Rumpelstiltskin
iconic.
was Martin
If
Short,
he was Martin Short,
oh, that would have been so much better.
that would have been a lot better.
Guys, we
be
need to
honest.
petition to remake this movie with him in the role.
I mean, but now he's busy doing season 2 of Only Murders in the Building, so I don't want
Which
to take him away
I'm
from
happy
that.
about.
Yeah.
I'm happy about. But
I still have to watch that.
it's
It's
good.
really good.
It's really good. This movie has exactly one joke that makes me laugh. Just one.
What is it?
Would you guys like to guess? Can we turn
This
this?
is
I
hard
don't know.
'cause I
I
don't
didn't
even
want to
know if I have
reread
one.
my notes because there's too many of them and I don't care.
What act is it in?
It's in the first act, and it's also a meme. I'll say that.
Oh.
And I like it more just for the fact that it's
Oh, is it Do the Roar?
yeah.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
Do the Roar and I Love You, Daddy.
That
I
little
just-
kid sounds like the kid from The Shining. The kid
Oh,
who
you mean when he's
asks him
doing
to
the
do
Tony
stuff.
voice?
Yeah.
Yeah. He does.
I
Yeah.
have that note.
Do the roar.
With his-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
love
I
you,
don't
Daddy.
even know. I guess that part's funny. I don't know other than that if there's anything that I took away from this movie.
Okay, also, is Rumpelstiltskin known for having really sharp toenails or something? I have a
don't know.
note about his toes sticking out of his shoes, and it made me really uncomfortable, and I was like, did they need to do that?
I don't really know what he's known for.
I think he's just the guy. He's the con artist.
Yeah, he's a
Fairy tale
trickster.
character.
Yeah.
That's
A lot of the
all
rest
that
of
I
the
know
film,
about it.
I have notes about some jokes that felt like they were just trying really hard,
Yes.
when they got to the settlement of ogres, which in theory I thought was really cool and I didn't see coming at all, just that there being that many of them. Also, some of them are John Hamm Craig Robinson and Jane Lynch, which is so random.
Yeah,
I know.
For like 3 lines.
Yeah, like the one joke that I think I must have seen it simply because I remember this joke, but it also could have been a meme, was the person with the chimichanga stand in the fight. That is the one joke that came out, and I was like, I remember watching this only for that joke, because as a kid I was like, hilarious. But I remembered absolutely nothing else of the movie, just the chimichanga stand joke. And also like the Pied Piper being there, and like having the adjustable flute to play to attack different people, and like the attack was just making them dance till they died. That was all really bizarre. I don't know.
Another thing there that like I like the concept of the Pied Piper being almost like Boba Fett. He's like, we need to bring in like a bounty hunter or something. You know what I mean?
And he doesn't speak.
Yeah, like I like that idea. And again, another classic fantasy or fairy tale character. Like, cool conceptually, but just it's weird in the movie. They just start like dancing and stuff.
Yeah, because like the fairy tale isn't. He just controls the rats.
Yeah.
Right? And even when he rides in on the rats, they're just walking, like they're not dancing. I don't know why they had to turn it into like a dance thing.
I don't know.
If there's one, like, these movies, I'm going to say it, they have way too much dancing sequences.
I would agree with that. There's a lot of dancing.
Even in the good ones.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the only dance sequence I like is in Shrek 2.
The wedding? Because that's a wedding. Or not a wedding, the ball. It makes sense.
Yeah, that one makes sense.
Actually, Shrek 1 is the wedding, so that one I guess makes sense too. But
sure. Yeah. But
those ones actually have context.
I have a really big pet peeve with this movie is that when he finds out that the exit clause is true love's kiss and he has to kiss Fiona and she doesn't want to, she's a warrior badass, he has the contract with him the whole time. Yeah. And so like she doesn't believe that he's telling the truth because it's an outlandish story. But he doesn't even think to show her the contract.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Because like Rumpelstiltskin's in charge, and so everyone knows that his whole deal is this whole contract thing. Like, so it's not like it would be that out of this world. It should be like, you made this up. Like, no, it'd be pretty believable. It's his whole deal, and everyone knows it. So that made me really angry.
Yeah, I agree. That's
that, but
it makes me angry how stupid Shrek is in this. Like, not that he's ever smart, but he's always very practical. And so when he's constantly trying to just like, I guess like convince Fiona or like woo her or whatever, I'm always like, why would you think this would, like, you're a person.
Yeah, he knows her,
Like, use context clues. Like, you know, like, this isn't the thing. You know what I mean? Like, there's that
He's
scene
very out of character in this movie.
when she first shows up and like kicks him or whatever, and then he gets up and he's like, hang on, listen to me. And then he like explains the plot of the movie in front of all the other ogres to her, and then she's like, I guess I kicked you a little too hard. I'm like, okay, so this is all set up just for the joke that he looks crazy, but like Shrek wouldn't do that. Like,
that's a donkey thing.
That's a donkey thing.
And
like,
Shrek would be in Fiona's spot, being like, "You're fucking weird."
Yeah, exactly. Like, Shrek is way more practical than that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't buy it. It's dumb. And then also,
no, you go.
Like, the true love's kiss at the end is like the opposite of what we talked about with the first two in terms of the romance plot. Whereas, like, why does she love him? Because they like had a Shang-Chi-esque like fight montage where they fell in love, I guess. What's the connect? Like, nothing happened. Like, I don't understand. Like, why is this true love?
She finds out that they have children.
Yeah, but that I don't even.
She loves the children, I guess. Not it's him, but it's good enough.
You know what it is? It's because he says, because he mentions the name Felicia, and she always wanted a daughter named Felicia, so she's like, he must be telling the truth.
Okay, but
how could he know that? Here's
the thing: when they kiss earlier on the bridge, she's like, "Okay, fine, I'll kiss you, and we'll get this over with." And they kiss, and nothing happens. And Shrek's like, "Ah, it's because it wasn't true love, right?" And I kind of feel like what happens in the last scene, sure, absolutely, is her coming to the understanding that he's not lying, but like that's not equivalent to her like loving him now.
No.
It's just like, oh, you're not lying.
I highly doubt she fell in love with him.
Like, that's the thing. Is like, I don't know. That's what makes it dumb to me. But, yeah.
Whatever. Also, another dumb thing is Puss in Boots being fat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not a funny joke. And it goes on for the whole fucking
all of these were so, like, it was all a reach. And it was just, like, disappointing when I watched it.
Him and Donkey were so wasted in this movie. Just completely underutilized.
Yeah.
It's so unfortunate.
Yeah, like, and it also, the world feels smaller in this movie.
Yeah.
Which is weird because we've now introduced alternate universes, so it should feel infinitely bigger. But like the like even Far Far Away seems bleaker in this movie. Yeah. And maybe it's like the lighting we were talking about or just the story that we're experiencing, but I like the world even in the third movie a lot better than the world in this movie.
I agree. This doesn't feel like, I mean, I was texting you guys. Okay. So I've watched these movies like one each day for the last 4 days.
Oh, okay.
Also keep in mind, as you guys are aware, listeners or not, I've been working like essentially 13-hour days with driving because I've been working in the States, okay? Right. So last night, I go to put on this fucking movie.
No.
And I felt like I was having a fever dream. I was like, do I have COVID? Like, am I sick? I was like, am I sick?
Is that one of the symptoms?
Because I didn't, it doesn't even feel like even remotely a Shrek movie, other than the fact that, like, I guess Shrek is the main character in it. But even Shrek 3, as bad and dumb as it is, I'm like, yeah, this is in the universe of Shrek. This felt like, I don't even know. Like, it felt like another company got the rights and then tried to make a movie, and it wasn't the original. Like, it's wild. It's wild to me how much this feels like a different movie altogether.
Yeah.
That is a good point.
I don't even know if I have, like, do you guys have anything else to say about this one, to be honest?
I hate it.
I don't. I looked through all my notes. It was all just reminding me of the plot, and it was all bad. Although my only other note I have, and it's in capitals, is Trojan duck instead of Trojan horse.
Yes.
That's all I got.
What was that in reference to?
A Trojan duck was used in battle.
Oh, I didn't even catch that. Okay.
I think Rumpelstiltskin came out of it or something. It was like when the ogres were going to have a big battle.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah. Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The fake one.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's all
so
I got.
Can I go through my list of, like, the roundup of every references?
Absolutely.
A lot of them we've mentioned already, but I'll say them again anyway. So, this is across all the movies, and this is just the ones that I caught. If you have other ones, shout them out. So, there's Gladiator, obviously, in the first movie.
Yep.
Gladiator sequence. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom in the first movie with the rope bridge is identical. The Matrix, obviously.
Of course.
Don't need to explain. Spider-Man 2002, also easy. Fellowship of the Ring, as we said. Hawaii Five-0. Zorro just throughout the whole Puss in Boots character.
Of course,
really.
yeah.
Alien, when he bursts out of his stomach.
Yes, forgot to mention that, yeah.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, when Puss in Boots slides under the door and catches the hat.
Grabs the hat, yeah.
The Wizard of Oz, when Donkey says he's melting in the rain. Annie, when he just literally starts singing the song from Annie.
Yes, then it'll come out.
Cops, we already talked about. Mission Impossible, Frankenstein. Jurassic Park, when the teacups are making the vibrating rings. When the giant gingerbread man's coming.
Oh, damn, yeah, that's good.
Ghostbusters, just with the whole giant gingerbread man, like the Marshmallow Man.
Stay Puft, yeah.
Godzilla with the roar. E.T., when he dies, he says, "Be good."
Yes.
Rosemary's Baby in the third movie, when the baby carriage like rolls up and it like throws up profusely on him.
Yep.
And then King Kong with Shrek being on stage chained up. Those are
Sorry, I zoned out for a second. Did you say that when the fairy godmother made all of Fiona's furniture dance around is like Beauty and the Beast? You didn't say that movie,
I didn't
so you might
include
have missed
any.
it.
This is not including any fairy tale
Okay.
ones, because obviously those like are going to come up. These are like only outside pop culture references, and not including any songs, of course, that Donkey sings.
Of course.
Oh, as we talked about in the fourth movie, they literally sing a James Taylor song to like become friends again.
Yeah.
And that's so stupid.
So stupid. Just like everything. And the soundtrack in the fourth movie, like we talked about, largely just like...
I don't remember.
I can tell you like multiple songs off the first two, but I don't really remember.
Yeah.
And except for it ends with "I'm a Believer" because...
The fake "I'm a Believer."
I don't know, because they're trying to tie it all together. So... Yeah. Did the other movies end with the end as well, or was it just Shrek 4? Like the book closes and it says the end?
I think it's just Shrek 4. They really thought that was going to be like the grand finale.
How pathetic, dude. How pathetic.
The epic grand finale.
That we've all been waiting for.
Yeah, it's sad. Anyway, go watch Shrek 1 and 2 if you haven't.
Yeah.
They hold up. They're good.
Yeah. And we talked about the other ones, because why not?
I mean, we had to.
Yeah.
We never have to do anything. I think we forget that a lot.
No, we always have to. We don't have a choice.
Morally, we are obligated.
Yeah, we're obligated.
I mean, it's bad enough, like, we're calling this episode the Shrek Cinematic Universe because we want to.
Yeah.
But we didn't even talk about, like, the Puss in Boots movie or the countless mini specials.
I think there's 2 Puss in Boots movies now.
Really?
I think they made...
I think
or maybe
another one might be in production.
I thought there
Or
was maybe a
talked
TV show.
To be in, oh, maybe.
Oh, maybe, yeah. I think there was a TV show.
Mini series or something.
Yeah.
But
Mini series or a series that got canceled.
Yeah.
yeah, who knows? Yeah,
We'll come
so
back.
making
Maybe
it
we'll
a
come
mini
back.
series.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll come back, will we?
Maybe next Halloween we can talk about the Halloween Shrek.
You know what we should do one Halloween? We should get all of any short animated Halloween specials.
Sure.
Like Shrek, Madagascar, Toy Story.
Okay.
Just like get a bunch of them.
I'm down to do
Just
that.
talk about those.
I don't think I've
Yeah.
seen any of them, so
That's fun.
might as well start now.
Even if it's a bonus episode or something.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We'll make it work.
Okay.
I think that's the end. I think we did it.
The end. Title card.
Yeah.
The book
closed.
closes.
We're not even going to say bye.
Yeah.
Well, we can actually say bye. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, and also just a reminder: our next 3 episodes will be our next round of selection episodes.
Yes.
So stay tuned.
Hell
Our
yes.
fave
Oh my
films.
god.
Looking forward to it. Next one is Goodfellas.
Guys, I am
Yep.
so excited. Holy shit.
I think I'm going to
Like-
watch this weekend.
I just remembered that I get to rewatch Goodfellas again. This is so exciting.
That'll be
Yeah.
better than your Shrek 4 fever dream.
I
And I get
can't
to watch it
wait.
for the first time.
Guys,
Me too.
I think you guys are gonna love it. I don't want to overhype it too much for you guys, but
Yeah,
like,
because then that'll ruin
Yeah,
it.
that's impossible though, because like this has just been like it's been deemed a legendary movie since it came
Yeah,
out.
that
You
is
just-
true.
you just have to like just enjoy the Italianisms.
Yeah, and I can't wait. for
Like,
that.
if nothing else, forget about anything and just enjoy the ridiculous, comedic, over-the-top Italianisms that everyone is doing in this movie, and you'll get something out of it.
Oh
I'm
my
very
god, I
excited.
forgot about a reference.
Okay, what?
In Shrek 3, when they're pillaging the city, one of the dwarves goes, "Hey, I'm walking here," and it's from Midnight Cowboy. That
he
John Boy
actually?
movie. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
hilarious.
And I remember that because like
Italian.
Yeah.
Italian.
Yeah. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
Ciao.
Okay. Good one.